All right, there we go. We are live. Happy Sunday night to all of you guys tuning in right now. Happy playoffs. First round of the playoffs. As my title has alluded to, maybe not the best start to the playoffs so far. Maybe not the most competitive games. As Sebastian rightfully pointed out in chat, the Eagles game was at least a little interesting, right? There was some moments in the second half there where maybe the outcome was in doubt. But overall, not the most competitive playoffs so far, but I think we're in for a good one here tonight. I think we're in for a good one. Buccaneers versus Commanders, week one rematch. Whole lot has changed since these two teams met back in week one. Two really, really good offenses and two defenses that are all right, honestly. And if anything, punching above their weight. But I do think we might see some points here today. I really do, man. I don't know. If you're into that stuff, overs are looking good, right? Taking the overs on all the player props and all that. I haven't put any money on this game. I actually haven't played prize picks in a while, but maybe at some point I will. But I don't know. I think we might be in for some fireworks here today. So I'm excited for it. But as always, you guys know the drill at this point, right? If you're in here, feel free to say hello in chat. Looks like we've got a couple people filing in right now. Kira Cat's in here. Welcome to the stream, Kira Cat. Good to have you in here saying hello, doctor. I did not have fun today. Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. That's tough. Yeah. I mean, hey, at least that Bo Nix deep ball to, it was Troy Franklin. That was pretty sick. I mean, that got me fired up a little bit. That was a nice little throw right there, but yeah, that was tough. I mean, you go into Orchard Park against the Bills. That's just a tough assignment, but and I kind of hate saying this sometimes because like when my team loses a game like this, like I don't always want to hear that necessarily, but I will say for what it's worth, like it was a really good season for the Broncos. I think they definitely overachieved. You got to be feeling good. You've got Nix on that rookie contract. The defense looks pretty good. Got to be feeling good about Sean Payton as your coach, I would like to think. So, all things considered, yeah, it sucks to lose in the playoffs, right? Like, no one likes doing that. And, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, take the day to be upset about it. But I will say, tomorrow when you wake up, be proud of the season the Broncos had because it was a really good year for the Broncos. But good to have you in here regardless, and hopefully we get a good game here tonight. Got Sebastian in here, of course, talking about the Eagles game a little bit earlier. Good to have you back in here, Sebastian, saying 1 minute 24 seconds late. What took so long, football boy? I was actually refilling this. Oftentimes you might see me get up like during halftime or something. 9 times out of 10, if I'm getting up midstream, it's to refill this water bottle right here. So I decided to go ahead and fill it up right now. Should be all the way full. I like to yap during these a lot, right? My mouth gets a little bit dry. I've got the fan on to keep me cool, so got to stay hydrated. But that's what took so long. Oh man. And saying that the creamsicle shirt is going to make the Bucks lose. Oh, the jinx is alive and well. And I got to say, I've been jinxing a lot of teams. Not all of my picks have aged very well. If you tuned into my preseason bracket stream or postseason bracket stream, excuse me, or if you saw me posted in the Discord or me saying in Discord in the middle of the Packers-Eagles game, I think the Packers are going to win. Not the best day for my picks. Best weekend for my picks, to be honest, but it's chill. It's chill. I am picking the Bucks tonight, though. That's not why I'm wearing this. I mean, I am kind of rocking with the Bucks, right? One of my best friends works with Tampa Bay. I actually got this sweater at Raymond James Stadium at the Creamsicle game, which is pretty sick. So I thought I'd throw it on, show some love for the crew. I know we've got some Bucks fans watching this as well, including Droid C. Welcome to the stream, Droid. Good to have you in here. Saying, go Bucks over under on the Winfield fumble touchback. Oh, yeah, that's kind of been a thing with him, hasn't it? Like, he's, like, forced a bunch, right? I think about the one against the Panthers, was that last year? Final week of the regular season? Dude, he's a playmaker, man. He'll get that ball. He'll get that ball. Oh, Jacob, welcome to the stream. You're important in the Discord. Well, that's awesome. Welcome. Good to have you in here. Let's go. First stream for Jacob. Appreciate you tuning in. Pearchamp is in here, too, saying, hey, Doc, how's it going? It's going good. Going good. Been a good weekend of playoff football. Can't complain. And Parker's in here. Welcome to the stream, Parker. Asking, how's the snow treating me? It's almost gone at this point. I mean, the sun came out yesterday and it went above freezing, so it kind of melted away a lot of it. And at this point, like, I can look out in my yard. There's not a whole lot left, to be honest. It didn't last very long. But I will say, it was pretty crazy when it first came. For those that don't know, I live up in North Georgia, and we got hit by a winter storm on Friday. Actually got a decent amount of snow. I don't remember the exact amount, but I know we were forecasted to get between like 4 to 6 inches, and we did get a decent amount. And then after it snowed, it started to rain, and it was below freezing, so that rain froze. So for most of Friday and most of Saturday, the streets were covered with like a layer of snow, and then on top of the snow was a sheet of ice. And it's Georgia, right? So they don't have the crazy infrastructure like, say, Fargo, where I grew up, and they don't have like all these plows and salt trucks and stuff. So the town kind of shut down, but I got to have a snow day, which was pretty fun. Didn't have to, well, I went into work for like an hour or two, but we closed early. So I was just kind of hanging out all weekend, playing video games, watching football. It was fun though. It was a good time. It was very relaxing, but good to have you guys all in here. Should be a good night here tonight. Should be a good night. I think they're going to be starting soon. I know on ESPN it said the game was supposed to start at 8, but it's like, no, all these playoff games have been starting late. I mean, 8 would be pretty early for a regular Sunday night game, right? These usually kick off at 8:20, but we might be getting started here in a few minutes. I won't hate that. Get to bed maybe a few minutes earlier. I haven't slept a lot this weekend, to be quite honest with you. Some of it I just I don't know. It's just been easy for me to stay up late. I've been watching stuff, but so maybe a decent bedtime would be nice for me today, but yeah, I think I am going to go with the Bucks. I mean, that's who I picked in my bracket. I really like this running game. I think it's going to be a big mismatch against this Commanders run defense. It's kind of struggled a little bit. I love this Tampa offensive line. They've been keeping Baker clean all season long. I think maybe Mike Evans' big plays could be on the menu here. Maybe a go ball or two to Mike Evans. So we'll see. We'll see. We got Robert in here. Robert Schmerda. Welcome to the stream. Robert saying, I love and Bulkin Bear. This must be going over my head. Maybe this is a reference to something. A Bulkin Bear. Huh. What? Oh, Buccaneer, probably. Maybe. Maybe it was like a typo or something. But, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But how have you guys been doing? What have you guys thought of the playoffs so far? Any surprises for you guys? I mean, for me, that Texans-Chargers game was pretty surprising. I had the Chargers winning, and I'm surprised that the Texans kind of dismantled them and blew them out, right? I mean, I brought up this stat like, Texans are 1-5 against playoff teams this year, and the offensive line and this and that. But, man, that defense came out firing. All the talent finally playing up to its full potential, especially on the defensive side of the ball. D'Amico's a good coach. They're a little scary now. They've got the Chiefs in Arrowhead, which is tough, and I don't think I'll pick them to win, but they are scary. And that game that they played back before Christmas was a pretty close game, and it was in Arrowhead, and the Chiefs had Hollywood Brown back for that first game. So we'll see. We'll see. But so, Jacob, you said you're more of a college guy, right? You go to Alabama. What do you thought of this NFL season so far? Welcome to the NFL world. First year as an NFL fan. Got to be feeling good. It's been a pretty good season, I would say, right? Do you have a favorite NFL team? Yeah, you're right, Pear Champ. He was very Dalton-y. And it's very unfortunate that Herbert's 2 career playoff games are now blowing a 27-0 lead, and then whatever the heck that was yesterday. Love was not much better either. Yeah. It's been a tough playoffs for some of these QBs that have high ceilings, but maybe haven't quite realized them yet, Yeah, it has been tough. Love was kind of all over the place. 2 interceptions. Obviously, those injuries didn't do him any favors. I mean, losing Elgton Jenkins, that was killer. And then 3 receivers go down. Yeah, that was tough. Those 4 guys go down. It's like, all right, go beat the best defense in the league on the road. And I say this, I picked the Packers to win that game, but what can you do? I swung for the fences. I was like, it's not going to be all chalk, right? And I guess technically, Houston winning was an upset, even though they were the higher seed. But, yeah. Jacob saying, my Steelers have been disappointing me a lot in the home stretch. It's been a lot of fun, though. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. That's tough. Tough way to close out the year, right? Losing your last 4 in the regular season, then going 1 and done. Yeah. Robert saying, Jacob, you got to jump ship and become a Ravens fan. We will welcome you. Oh, well, there you go. So we got a Ravens fan in here. We got a Steelers fan in here. Lots of different teams being represented. But, yeah, that Ravens run game, dude. Oh my gosh, when they get going, it's just so sick. They're doing direct snaps to Derrick Henry. They're having Lamar run 5 straight QB keepers. I mean, they were kind of playing with their food yesterday. They were just kind of toying with the Steelers a little bit. Lamar looked awesome. I mean, that's got to be one of his best playoff performances, if not his best playoff performance of his career, Not uh, it's the wild card round. We'll see how next week goes. That's gonna be a good one against the Bills. But it's good to see like regular season Lamar show up in the playoffs. There are some questions of what Lamar we were gonna get, and there is that narrative around him, which is understandable. Maybe he's underachieved in the playoffs a little bit. But Jacob says girlfriend is from Pennsylvania and she's a Steeler, so I'm kind of locked into the black and gold. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's awesome. Ravens to the Super Bowl for sure, though. Please beat the Chiefs. Yeah. I mean, man, and we'll see if the Chiefs win, right? I mean, who knows at this point? It's never a given. I'd like to think that they would get it done. And as a neutral football enjoyer, to be honest with you, right? Now that we have the AFC side set, that Ravens-Bills game is so sick. It's only right that the winner plays the Chiefs, right? Winner plays the Chiefs with the right to go to the Super Bowl. That's how it should be. No disrespect to like the Texans or anything, but I don't know. I mean, either getting Ravens Chiefs or Ravens Bills again. Oh. I would personally love to see that as far as entertainment goes. But yeah, that Ravens Bills game. I think I lean Ravens too, to be honest. I think I lean Ravens, man. I just trust them a little bit more right now. I love that defense. I love that running game. Lamar is playing out of his mind. I'm assuming they'll have Zay Flowers back at that point too. They are dangerous, man. I wonder if this is the year they can actually get to the Super Bowl. We'll see. But Pear Champ saying, I don't like the call with the Packers not recovering the ball at the start of kickoff. Looks like they recovered it and then were punched out after then it was punched out after he got on the ground. Terrible refs. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I can't lie. And like they looked at it and they just didn't overturn it. I mean, it was pretty clear that they got it back. And, I guess there's like the rules of like they just keep letting them scrap for the ball, but yeah, I don't know. That probably should have been Packers ball, in my opinion. And that completely changed the game, right? Not only did the Packers lose a possession, but the Eagles got a touchdown, right? That was one of their 2 touchdowns in that game. So that was a very, very decisive play. And it was the very first play of the game. That was tough. Yeah. Robert saying Ravens thrive in the dark side, nevermore and all that. Oh, yeah, right? I mean, they've always been built around hard-hitting defenses and great running games, and it was good to see them get back to their roots, bringing in Derrick Henry a little bit, right? You think about that AFC Championship game last year, Ravens-Chiefs. Ravens just not running the ball, and the running game was kind of working. Nah, they have learned their lesson, man, and their defense has retooled. It was rough the first half of the season. They put Kyle Hamilton back at safety. They just seem a little bit more organized now, right? Maybe a rocky start due to changing coordinators. I know there was some continuity there and they promoted from within, but still, right? It's a big difference. You're still changing up who you're getting coached by, right? But man, I mean, if you look at their stats from like week 10 onwards, they're one of the best defenses in football. They've played against a lot of really good competition. I mean, we saw them just absolutely smoke the Texans on Christmas Day, right? I don't know. They're a dangerous team. Pearchamp says, my heart says Bills and Josh Allen, but my head says Lamar. Oh, yeah, that's legit. I say all that, right? I mean, man, I was kind of concerned about the Bills a little bit going into this Broncos game. I was like, I don't know. Like, this Broncos defense is pretty good. I like the way their offense matches up against the Bills defense. Nope, not a problem at all. Oh, my gosh. Want to talk about one of the best performances of Wild Card Weekend so far, I'd say. How about that Bills offensive line? They were moving dudes. I mean, that was a strength-on-strength matchup right there, going up against this Broncos front. But, man, the Bills offensive line won the day. They were running the ball well. James Cook was running well. They gave Josh a lot of time, right? Broncos got him a few times, and Josh was able to help himself out with his legs, but yeah, that was a very impressive performance from the Bills up front. And that'll be a matchup to watch against the Ravens. That's probably like their defense's biggest weakness, right? They've got some good guys up front, but they don't have like an A1 winner on the outside, right? Like they've got Kyle Van Noy is pretty good, but he's not like that dude you need to double every single snap, So that'll be an interesting matchup to watch. That might be the way that the Bills could win this game. But Sebastian saying Packers most oppressed fan base. Refs want to abolish the Packers franchise confirmed. Who has it worse than the Packers? We got Ryan Asty in here too. Let's go. We got another Bucks fan in here saying prepare for Bucks guy to be yelling into the void. Hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. This could be a pretty good game. I'm not even gonna say at this point because I am a walking jinx, and I've been like Stanley SquarePants, just ruining everything I touch. I say a team is gonna win, yeah, they're gonna lose, but we'll see, man. We'll see. But good to have you in here. Glad you're spending your Bucks game day here with Dr. Pigskin in the stream. That's awesome. Robert saying around midway through the season, the Ravens brought in Dean Pease to advise Zach Orr, and he's been much better. I did not know that. That's crazy. I didn't know Dean Pease was still in the league, to be honest. I remember him from his Falcons days a little bit, and he was the DC of that 2012 team, wasn't he? That's awesome. I had no idea. That was a nice little nugget right there. Ryan Asty says, I'm so scared, doctor. Please tell me I'm not going to die. You're not going to die? Look at that. Bucks are going to start with the ball, it looks like. Hey, here we go. Here we go. Hey, Tampa Bay. The Bucks know how to shine. I'm turning off the monitor so I don't get any spoilers. It's rocking at Raymond James right now. Look at that. They got the flags waving. Here we go. Here comes Baker Mayfield and this Buccaneers offense, which has been so electrifying under Liam Cohen. Great offensive line, great running game. Obviously, Mike Evans, Mr. 1,000 yards. Good battle here against this defense, Dan Quinn and the Commanders. Very overachieving unit this year. Man, going into the year, I thought this defense was going to be terrible. I really did. They were the worst defense in the league by a lot of metrics last year. I didn't think that they made a lot of improvements. But man, they fly to the ball, they hit. They made some good free agency signings. Mikey Sanders has been a nice revelation at corner. They're not pushovers by any means. There you go. Mike Evans, first play. First down, Mike Evans. And let's see how much Marshawn Lattimore is on him tonight, right? This is the big matchup right here. These two guys go way back, right? It's like Peter Griffin versus the chicken. I mean, you might have seen that posted on NFL Twitter, right? Here we go. Round one. Baker going to Mike right away on Lattimore. Nice little comeback route right there. First down, Tampa. Ryan Asty fired up. There's Bucky. Oh, stuffed. Bobby Wagner. Unk still got it. Hoo-hoo. He was one of those guys I was a little skeptical about that signing. It was like, Bobby Wagner in 2024. But case in point, right? This is what's still great about him. He's maybe not the guy he once was in coverage, right? Sometimes I like to say, yeah, like you get him moving backwards, that's never good. But when he goes downhill, when he can shoot gaps like that, when he can make plays and thump guys, he can still do that, man, at a pretty high level. I don't know that I agree with him being like second team All-Pro necessarily. I saw he got named that back on Friday. Oh, he just thumped someone in pass pro there. My goodness. I say all that. He's kind of showing up right now. Man. Oh my goodness. Who was that he popped right there? But there you go. Tackle for loss or at least a run stuff, and then you bring him on a blitz on second down. And Bucky's not, well, he's no Rachaad White in pass protection, I'll say that. Rachaad White is an excellent blocker at the running back position, but you rarely see Bucky go backwards like that, you know? 3rd and 9. Baker. Oh, he's got Mike Evans on Lattimore again. Here we go. Hang on to your hats. And I bet you they'll keep the shenanigans to a minimum since it's a playoff game, right? I don't think they're going to be like punching each other and stuff, you know, because you don't want to take a bad penalty. But here we go. This is the matchup right here. No, it's not like complete one-on-one, I guess. I don't know. They did some stuff to free him up, but still going to Evans early. Sebastian with some nice anxiety tips. No, unironically, I do that all the time too. Oh yeah. Just breathe in and breathe out. You can do square breathing, right? It's where you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. He is right. This does work. It does indeed work. White is the pass pro guy, period. Must have been an audible. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that's why he's out there so much, right? And he's a good receiver. And he's been better as a runner this year, but like, you know, I mean, he plays an important role on this team, even if he's not like an amazing runner, you know? I think that snap caught Baker by surprise. Oh, off of Jalen McMillan's hands. He's been good this year, dude. Low key, been the best Washington receiver in the NFL this year. He has really impressed me. That touchdown he had against the Saints last week was awesome. I mean, he's on like a bit of a touchdown streak right now, but a tough drop right there. First playoff game for the Rook. It was there, though. These Bucs receivers are winning early against these Washington corners. Third and 7. Baker's got a nice pocket again. Oh, trying to go deep for McMillan. There was like 3 guys there. Well, there you go. Washington gets a bit of a stop. They're going to force a long field goal here for Tampa. Good pass protection throughout the drive, except for that blitz. But, like, what can you do? You know. Tried to get him on a little bit of a wheel route right there. There's Sanders still making the play. All right, this is a 50-yarder. This is kind of a tough kick. And he got it. There is a flag down. Let's see about this. Oh, if they jumped, you dare go for it. 4th and 2. I don't think Bulls would be the type of guy to go for it. I think someone on the Commanders did jump, though. Bulls doesn't strike me as the guy that would take the penalty and then go for it, though. I think they'll just take the points here. Yeah. I get it, though. First drive, you get points. Yeah. I respect that. Yeah, we got Michael in here. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Michael. Saying, Eric, fun fact, last time Washington won a playoff game was January 7th, 2006 at Tampa Bay. Asking if there's some deja vu. I did not know that, actually. Man. Has it really been that long? I guess it has. It's not like they've been in the playoffs a bunch, right? They made it that one year with Kirk in 2015, and they lost to the Packers in the wild card round. They lost to the Seahawks in the wild card round in 2012 with RG3. And I guess before that, it would have been 2006, and it was in Tampa. Well, there you go. A little bit of a historical nugget right there. Thank you for that, Michael. Huh. And I'm sorry about your Steelers, man. That is tough. Man, I'm curious. What do you think of this whole Tomlin situation? What do you think the Steelers should do? Where should they go from here? I'm closer to getting radicalized about the Steelers, but I'm curious for your take. I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's a really tough situation to be in. Sebastian saying, I have to admit, it would be really fun if Evans and Lattimore just started putting on an MMA fight in the middle of plays. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, again, if the rules were a little bit looser, right, just like, all right, yeah, y'all can turn it loose. Or if this was like hockey, it's like, all right, y'all can fight. Like, it's the second quarter. Let's just do this, you know. I mean, who knows, right? That was the first drive of the game. Maybe at some point one of them is going to say something and, like, pandemonium is going to break loose. But I feel like they're going to be fairly civil today. They might, you know, Mike Evans might block like a second after the whistle blows or something like that. But who knows? Who knows? That is so awesome that they're meeting in the playoffs, though, right? Lattimore leaves the division, and yet they still meet. They still meet. It's inevitable. But Sebastian said it wouldn't be a good idea, but it would be cool. Yeah. 4th and 1 we go. 4th and 2 is looking too long for Bulls. Yeah. I'd have to look into his 4th down aggression stats. I could always pull it up, but yeah, that checks out. You're right. You might try and do like a sneak on 4th and 1 or something. But Robert saying, I discovered you through your 4th down video, so I say go for it. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. And hey, I mean, if they really wanted to, right, we could even pull up the robot right now and see what they were saying. I'll say the Steelers, they passed up a few 4th and very shorts yesterday, and I saw Greg Rosenthal of NFL Media make a really good tweet. He was saying, you know, like the Steelers passing up 4th and 3 and 4th and inches in the first half meant that they had to go for like 4th and 15 in the second half, you know? But let's see if we can pull that up here real quick. But Ryan Nasty didn't like the historical nugget. Fair enough. Jacob saying, I'd love to get Brandon Staley for the Steelers. Not going to lie. There you go. Maybe a defensive coordinator hire. No, I honestly think like I want a team to roll the dice on him as a DC. I really do. I thought he did a pretty good job with the Rams, all things considered. I know it's fair to say like, well, they had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and like that's what made them so good. But also like what Staley was doing schematically, like some of the fronts he was coming out in were like unprecedented for the NFL. He was very innovative as a defensive mind. And I think like once he got away from being just a defensive coordinator, he had to be a head coach. Like it just got to be a lot on his plate and he outsmarted himself sometimes. But there's even times with the Chargers where like I thought he had good defensive game plans and they had some good performances. Pressure on Jaden on the first snap of the game. A little bit of an incompletion right there. Kalijah Cansey busting through. Been a pretty good find for them. But yeah. Michael's saying, I don't think you can blame all the Steelers' problems on Tomlin. The reality is players love to play for him and the organization loves him. But this stretch is certainly a bad look. That is fair to say, right? Because yeah, if you do move on from him, it's like, man, it is tough to go away from that continuity and stability. And for all you know, you could hire Rob Chodzinski to be your coach, you know, and all of a sudden it's back to the drawing board. But Brian Robinson, few yards. Here we go. Incompletion, short run, 3rd and long right here. This is a Commanders offense that usually likes to get the ball out quick, right? They spit out those quick little like curl routes, right? It's a lot of very short stuff. They have a fairly low average depth of target, and that number might go up sometimes because they'll take their deep shots to Terry McLaurin. But they spit that ball out quick or Jaden scrambles. So 3rd and 6 is an interesting spot for them to be in. Their run game has been pretty good all year, so they've been able to avoid a lot of these 3rd and 6s. But this is a big test. We'll see if Bowles heats up the kid or not. Brings a little bit of a blitz. They will. They're going to go deep. Oh! Terry. Scary Terry going deep. There you go. Right on cue. Right on cue. The deep shot to McLaurin. One of the best ball trackers in the league right there. Terry's not very big. He's not going to moss dudes, but the way he tracks that ball in the air, the way he can win on those downfield routes, and just, like, his hands are always exactly where they need to be, and that's a great throw by Jaden, too. My goodness. All right, here we go. Already some fireworks, some electricity in this one. Gain of 35. Daniels is going to keep. Nothing. Man, he's able to get back to the line, though, even. Gain like an inch or something. That was a jailbreak up front. Bucks have been strong against the run these first few plays. That's going to be big, right? This is kind of a decent matchup right here. Tampa run defense versus Washington run game. Oh, Cansey almost got him. Daniels is just able to kind of get out of those sometimes. Here you go. Daniels going to buy some more time. There, he's going to take off. Yeah, man, that scrambling is just such a weapon. He can get like a nice chunk of 8 yards on a busted play, you know? He doesn't always rip off the crazy long runs that you saw at LSU, but he is such an effective and efficient runner. Robert saying, as a Ravens fan, I'd hate if the Steelers got Ben Johnson. Ooh, that would be tough. Michael saying they need to consider a future without Tomlin. I don't think they're going to fire him, though. Yeah, that would be a long shot for Ben Johnson to go there. Oh, man, Ben Johnson to the Bengals would be insane with those receivers and Burrow at quarterback. I still wonder if he leaves, man. We'll see. He's taking interviews, though. Daniels going to scramble again. Daniels versus Levante. Levante stopped him. Wow. Levante beat him to the edge. Talk about Hunk still got it. We got a few older linebackers in this game. But how about the play from Levante? Look at this. Is he just spying Jaden? He is. Man, they got the 30-something Levante David spying the rookie Jaden Daniels, but he beat him there. Here you go. They're going to go for it. This is a team that's been very aggressive on fourth down. Look at that. Look at their success rate. Next Gen Stats says it's a toss-up. I think they're actually going to go. They have been very aggressive going for it. And it's short. Incomplete. Bucks get a fourth down stop. Wow. Well, there you go. Tampa with the early advantage, 3-0. That deep ball to Terry results in 0 points right there. That play by Levante David, man, that was a game changer right there. Woo-hoo. Here we go. All right. You know what? We've already seen some nice plays in this one. I'm still liking the vibes from this game, I will say. I'm enjoying this. Sebastian says it's always fun to listen to me while looking at Gamecast. Yeah, because it's a little bit ahead. You know, you might see like a little like play. Well, I guess I have that cropped out now, but you used to be able to see that. But got AJ in here too. Let's go, AJ. Good to have you in here. How about those Bills today? Big win for your Bills. D and bad throw. Yeah, it was a little bit of a short-armed right there. A little bit of pressure too by Tampa. Good job from them breaking through, kind of flushing Jaden out a little bit. Ryan Nasty fired up for Levante David, as he should be. Yeah. It would, I will say, to your point, Robert, yeah, it would be pretty enticing for Ben Johnson to go to the Steelers. And they certainly have like the organizational stability, right, that he would want. But I don't know. Weirdly enough, I think if he goes anywhere, it's going to be to the Raiders, which sounds crazy, but like, I don't know. Maybe that Tom Brady pull really is enough, right? Like, imagine you're Ben Johnson doing your interview, and all of a sudden Tom Brady walks in. He's like, hey, Ben, let's get to work. Let's go win a Super Bowl. You know, like, I don't know. That might work on me a little bit, right? If you're a guy that's been in the league for a long time, and, you know, Ben Johnson probably started his coaching career like when Tom Brady started his playing career. You know, he's a guy that I always wanted to be peers with, maybe work with. And they've got at least a few decent pieces on offense. But he'd have to, like, get full, like, organizational synchronization. Man, I sound like a CEO again. But you almost wonder, like, they just mysteriously fired their GM a few days after firing their coach. Like, I wonder what's going on there. But we got Jack in here too. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Jack. Saying until Mike Tomlin has a losing season, he ain't going anywhere. I do think the Steelers need a change, though. See, I think this is what's starting to radicalize me. And I say this all as someone that loves Mike Tomlin. I mean, Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl when I first started getting into football, right? 2009 was the first year I seriously watched it, but the first Super Bowl I remember watching was the 2008 one where the Steelers beat the Cardinals, right? And then a few years later, they were in there again. The Steelers were just this awesome organization. I've always loved Mike Tomlin. I think he's hilarious, and I do still think he's a good coach. But at some point, if you're the Steelers, you just need to, like, ask yourself if you need to shake up your organization a little bit, right? I mean, you've been in the same spot now for however many years, right? You haven't won a playoff game since, what, the 2016 season? I mean, you do wonder, like, how much longer can you keep doing this just for the sake of, like, the winning season streak, you know? And people make jokes about, like, oh, they just get to 9-8 every year and then they crash out. But honestly, I don't know, it was 10-7 this year, but honestly, every single season, like, that just becomes more and more the case, you know? Also, I have to fix this since it was behind a little bit. There we go. But yeah, so I do wonder, like, you'd have to crush it, right? Because whoever follows up Tomlin, like, good luck, right? And this is the Steelers, an organization that's had 3 coaches since, like, what, 1969? But you got to do something. I don't know, man. They've tried it with a rookie quarterback in Kenny Pickett. They tried it with a vet reclamation project in Russell Wilson. They tried it with a younger reclamation project in Justin Fields, right? The quarterback position has been a revolving door, and it's tough. Like, you can't just find one, but also, like, it's more than just the quarterback, you know? There's McMillan holding on to the ball right there. They've been going to him early and often. I mean, he is the next guy up now, right? Still no Chris Godwin for the Bucs, but he has blossomed. his emergence as a legit option, as a legit, like, good starting quality player has been so big for Tampa. This rookie class for Tampa has been really, really good, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Bucks run game looking okay, not great right now. Yeah. Bucky at about 4 yards a carry. But the passing game has been pretty good. Robert saying, I like Fields more as a QB for the Steelers than Russ, to be honest. You know, I've been thinking about that a little bit too, right? Both definitely have their limitations, but at least with Fields, he is far more athletic, and you could probably scheme up a fun run game with him, right? Both of them kind of have the same limitations too. Both are just kind of struggling to throw over the middle of the field a lot. It's just, they're very limited in what they can do, you know. The biggest problem with Russ, and this has been the problem with him for the past few years now, right, is he still tries to play like he's 25 years old. I mean, some of the sacks that he took last night, right? It's like, dude, like, maybe in 2015 you could get a throw off and hit Pickens downfield, but like, you just can't break away like that anymore, right? And he hasn't really adapted. So it's been tough. But at least with Fields, you get like some higher scrambling upside, some better designed quarterback runs. And honestly, for what it's worth, he was all right when he came in there and played. But AJ saying someone suggested trading Mike Tomlin to the Jags for picks. That would be intriguing. A Mike Tomlin trade would be interesting, right? I've always thought like maybe like you trade him to like a contender who feels like a coach away, but it's hard to think of a team like that, right? Like who's like an actual serious team that feels like they're just a good coach away from being good, right? Like the Mike Tomlin trade would be like the Matthew Stafford trade, but for coaches, but there's no like Rams team out there. It's like, man, this team could win a Super Bowl if they had an upgrade at quarterback, you know? So we'll see. But, oh, Mike Tomlin to the Jags, that'd be an interesting fit. I mean, selfishly, I want them to go a little bit more offensive minded, but we'll see. Michael saying, Omar Khan has my trust. I think he's modernizing the Steelers, but he's not doing anything drastic too quickly. Yeah, that is true, right? And I will say, like, they have done pretty well for themselves in some of these trades. So like the Deontay trade, somehow like they got Dante Jackson, and he's actually been kind of good for them this season. So I will give you that. And I liked his draft a lot this past year. But, we got games solved in here too. Let's go. Got a Bucks punt right here. Good stop for the Washington Commanders. But Game's saying, what's the ceiling for the Patriots next year with Mike Vrabel? Good question. I think a lot of it is going to come down to who he hires as his offensive coordinator, right? Vrabel's more of a culture guy, which I certainly have no issue with, right? I think he is a guy that can raise the floor of a team. A lot of people like to point out, well, this Titans team made the playoffs the year before Vrabel got there. Yeah, sure, that's fair. I still think he elevated them a little bit more. They always played hard under him. And you look at like the late Mike Vrabel Titans teams, like that 2023 team, honestly, that team could have easily bottomed out and been like incredibly bad, but they were just mid, I mean, let me look up the 2023 Titans. They were 6-11, but that could have easily been like a 3-win team. They were not good. They were injured. I mean, and look at what happened to them this year, right? Like the Titans invested a lot and honestly tried to like compete going into the year. They made big signings and like made some moves, and they have the first overall pick, So I think you can at least give Vrabel some credit for that. But yeah, you've got the rookie quarterback. You've got an offense that is kind of struggling, right? Not a great line, not great receivers right now. Vrabel has a very interesting track record of hiring offensive coordinators. His two most recent hires were Todd Downing and Tim Kelly, who like outside of just like knowing that they are the coordinators, like, oh, like nothing special. I'll say that. But the two before that were Arthur Smith and Matt LaFleur. So he has it in him. If he can find, I don't know, if he could find a good offensive coordinator, you start to get a little excited about the Patriots. I've seen the Josh McDaniels rumors. I don't hate Josh McDaniels, the coordinator. Josh McDaniels, the head coach, we've seen twice now, does not work. Josh McDaniels, the coordinator, kind of intrigues me a little bit. A little bit. Game saying, I feel like the Jags really want the offensive-minded coach for Trevor, so I don't know how they would feel about getting Tomlin. They did interview Aaron Glenn, though. Honestly, I love Aaron Glenn a lot. I honestly think he's one of the best guys you could hire in this cycle. I've become super high on Aaron Glenn. I love the way the Lions defense has played under him. I got to give him props, man. I was a little hard on him last year. I was like, I don't know. This Lions defense isn't that great. And they're just doing the same stuff. Like they're just running a bunch of man coverage and they're just getting cooked. But they just got a little bit better at the cornerback position. I really like what he's done with his blitzes this year. I mean, you look at that Vikings game from last week. Aaron Glenn was kind of in his bag, right? This Lions defense has been shorthanded for a lot of the year, and yet you've got like a Meek Robertson coming in, and I don't know, like he seems to develop players well. They've gotten a lot of guys in like the third round that have blossomed into good players. You look at the work he's done with the safeties. And what I really like is that he's like a fairly recent former player, and that seems to be a trend that's kind of working in the NFL right now, right? These guys who are not too far removed from being a player in the NFL locker room themselves, right? You think of like KOC and D'Amico Ryans and Mike Vrabel. So you kind of get a little bit of that culture boost too. I really like Aaron Glenn. I think whoever hires them is going to be glad that they did. I think he's going to be one of the best hires of this cycle. Here we go. 2nd and 8 for the Commanders. Oh, popped. There's David again. Flexing. Good start for Levante David, man. There's that veteran presence. Unk still got it. Linebacker edition. Yeah, man. Look at him fly over to Robinson. Come in, bring that second hit. Hey, we got Reed in here too. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Reed. Saying, well, the Packers really laid one down there. Yeah. I jinxed them, dude. I don't know what else to say. That was a pretty rough offensive performance. And again, injuries certainly didn't help, but yeah, Love was not necessarily that great. Daniels really flushed out across the field. He got him. Ho! How about that from the kid? Falling way back into his own end zone, just buying time. There's Zach Ertz. I mean, look at this. I wonder if they're going to have the snap to throw timer on this one. Maybe not, but just drift. Oh, nice throw on the run. You know, a lot of people, me, were concerned. Like, I don't know how much that's going to translate. I don't know how his play style is going to translate. No, it has not been an issue at all. Not at all. Ooh, RPO. There's Terry on a slant. Good start for Terry McLaurin. Had a go ball on the first drive. There's a slant. Look at him get that ball out quick right there. Let's see. So they reading Diaby there? Or Levante, yeah. Come up and play the run, just whiz it by him. Big staple of this Cliff Kingsbury offense. Jack says the Steelers are in such a similar situation that the Seahawks were just in with Pete Carroll, Super Bowl winning coach that stagnated. Yeah, and was it... Well, I guess they like mutually agreed to part ways, right? Like Carroll and the Seahawks are just like, yeah, we're not going to do this. I mean, I don't know if they just said that because they didn't want to say, we fired Pete Carroll, but that seemed to work out pretty well for them, though. I like the job that Mike McDonald has done there year one in Seattle. So, but that is a good comp right there. Good coach, consistent success, but like at some point, something's got to give, you know? Something's got to give. Reed saying defense balled out, but can only do so much with those long possessions. Yeah. Deion Jones is in the game for the Bucs. No way. Debo? That's crazy. That's a blast from the past right there. Deion Jones. Eckler got the first. Man, that play looked sketchy to start things off for the Commanders there. I was like, ooh, he is really behind the line of scrimmage. There you go. End of the first quarter. 3-0. Not a lot of points, but we've seen some good plays so far. I certainly can't complain. It's been a good game so far. 3-0. I tell you what. Halftime, we'll do an Immaculate Grid. We'll do at least one Immaculate Grid. I've been itching to do a grid. We'll do some halftime Immaculate Grid action. Jack saying, did someone say Mike McDonald? I did. Oh, man. I can summon him. Dan Quinn loved him some Deion Jones. That's right. How did I not even think of that? The connection. Dude, Dan Quinn's got a few of those guys that just like they'll follow him wherever, right? Think of Dante Fowler. I almost said Dexter Fowler, thinking of the outfielder. But yeah. Dan Quinn, what's his name? Oh my gosh, who is the guy that they signed? The defensive end, Dorrance Armstrong, followed him over from the Cowboys. Yeah, Dan Quinn does have like a few of his disciples. That is like one of my favorite tropes of the NFL too, right? Like coaches just having some dudes that they always want on their team. KOC has Cam Akers and Brandon Powell and Johnny Munt, you know. Um, who are like some of Todd Bowles' guys? Maybe I don't know. I'd have to like sit down and make a list or something. But that is one of my favorite tropes. Is like coaches just like bringing the same players with them no matter where they go. Ryan Asty loves the halftime grid action. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know you love the grids. We'll get a grid going for you. Let's go. Deion Jones caught the pick six that ended Jameis's career in Tampa. Really? I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I do remember like seeing that on Red Zone when it happened, but I forgot that that was Deion Jones. That's crazy. Let's take a look at these first quarter stats here. We're watching the Patrick Mahomes Jake from State Farm commercial. Field goal. I say all that, man. I promise you, give it like 2 or 3 months, we're going to miss it, right? Oh, when football's over. I don't even want to think about that right now. Field goal. Oh, man. Robert saying Jim Harbaugh brought a bunch of ex-Ravens. Oh, yeah. Well, and a bunch of like, I guess what, J.K. Dobbins. Um, Bulls brought Kevin Minter from the Cardinals. Kevin Minter, that's a name. Wow. That is a name right there. Kevin Minter. Who else did Harbaugh bring in? Ah, Dobbins is the obvious one. And of course, he brought some of his Michigan guys too, right? They have Hassan Haskins out there. I was like, let's go. Junior Colson. Yeah. 2019, 2020. I feel like I haven't heard of Kevin Minter's name in a while. There's the back, a little check down right there. Robinson. The well is deep for this Washington team, man. They've got a few different backs that they can go to. Robinson and Eckler. Eckler's been a nice surprise, too. It kind of looked over for him last season. You might think of that clip of him trying to break away against the Packers, and he looks like me out there. But no, he's been a nice surprise this year. He's been pretty good. It's a good role for him to play, right? He just gets fewer touches here now. Oh, hold on. My YouTube TV just freaked out. I just got kicked out. Not kicked out, but not all the way out of the app. But I didn't miss a whole lot, clearly. But Robert saying JK. Oh, yeah, Gus Edwards, duh. Hurst, Greg Roman, yeah. Bradley Bozeman, yeah. All right, yeah, that's a decent amount. Yeah. When you say Hurst, is that Hayden Hurst? Is he on the Chargers? Interesting. All right, 2nd and 5. Oh. Oh. There's Shaq Barrett. Welcome back, Shaq Barrett. It has been a crazy year for him. If you don't know, he's been through a lot of stuff. But good to see him back out on the field, right? Coming back to the Bucks, coming back to Tampa for the playoff push. That's pretty sick. Shaq Barrett, Super Bowl champ. Here we go. 3rd and 3. This is where the Commanders like to live. This is where they've been a lot of the year. Designed run for Daniels. Oh, oh, oh. That is an LSU type hit right there. Those are the hits that we were worried about at LSU with Jaden, right? Oh my goodness, he got popped right there. Oh, he's done a pretty good job of avoiding those hits all season, but that is something you worry about though, right? With that slight frame and with how much he runs, how big of a part of his game that is, man, sorry. Struggling to speak. Here we go. They're going again. They're going again. Oh, we're going to get a timeout. Timeout, Tampa. I like it, though. Next Gen Stats is saying down below to go for it, right? This is what you've been doing all year. Get a yard, right? This is what you've been doing. This is how you play. I just think if you're a coach, right, and you've been going for it all year. Now all of a sudden, now you're in a big playoff game. Now you're not going to go for it. I don't like the message that would send to my team. Oh, now that it's the wild card, we're scared. Nah, you got to stand on business here. You know what? They went for it the first time. They didn't get it. They might not get it here. But I like that they're trying. I like that they're trying. Here we go. Here we go. Right? Touchdown gives them the lead here. This will be their second crack at it. First one didn't work, but if they get the second one, they will gain on their net total of points on these fourth down conversions, right? Assuming they would turn it into a touchdown drive. Which I guess we don't know, but we feel another designed run here. That's what Chris is saying. Chris Collinsworth. Jaden did just get popped, though. I don't know. Oh, Eckler just got it. I think he just got it. I think he fell forward and got it. That could have been a penalty. That was a very fine line to walk right there. That was a little close, but I mean, he's like at least inbound still, but that was a crazy hit. Game's asking, would I rather be coached by Jim or John Harbaugh? I love both the Harbaugh brothers. I would say Jim. I just think Jim is such a goofy guy, right? I was listening to a podcast earlier this week, Heed the Call. They were playing a clip of him, like, having all of his players sing, "For he's a jolly good fellow." It's like, I think he's just so goofy. Like, he's just such a goofy dad, But I don't know. I would run through a brick wall for Jim Harbaugh. I would love to be part of the "who's got it better than us?" I love the rah-rah style. They don't make too many Jim Harbaughs anymore. But that was a good question. With John, I feel like it'd be a little bit more buttoned up of an environment, just a lot more even keel. But I do think it's funny how, like, Jim is the older brother. He gives such younger brother energy, but really, it's John who's the younger brother. Second and 3 now. Commanders in the red zone. There you go. There's the dividends of going for it, right? Ooh, good coverage. Trying to go back to McLaurin on another slant there. 3rd and 3. Ryan Nasty upset. Maybe some missed holding calls. You could probably run it here, right? I mean, you've been so... I don't know. Is it 2-down territory again for the Commanders? I mean, what's the difference between the last 4th down and this one? Both in field goal range. Jim smoked weed in college, but John took Adderall. Oh, now what? Another timeout for Tampa? No, first for the Commanders. I was going to say, that would be crazy. Burning 2 timeouts with 11:16 left still in the quarter. That might have been crazy. But oh, they're showing a little graphic previewing tomorrow's game. You best believe we're going live for that one. I mean, you might have seen the community post. Might just be assumed, but yeah. We will be going live for Vikings-Rams. That game should be crazy. And it, of course, is my favorite team playing. Hopefully, it goes a little bit better than the first time those two teams met. But we'll have to see. I think I'm going to bust out the jacket again tomorrow. I bust out the jacket, the Vikings jacket, for big occasions. Oh, Jaden is bloodied. That shot kind of went hard. Welcome to the playoffs, Tarico says. All right. 3rd and 3. Designed run, maybe? Nah, they're going to have him drop back. Oh, good catch. Zacchaeus. Wow. Did Zacchaeus and Dan Quinn ever overlap in Atlanta? I don't know that they did. Maybe. Hand off to Robinson. Nothing. Pretty long drive here for the Commanders, though, right? They will go quick. They will use a lot of tempo, but they get a lot of plays in. They still chew up a lot of that clock, even with their no huddle up tempo. They did, really. Well, there you go. There's another example. All right. And it is second and goal. They do need to score here. They get to pitch it on the speed option. No. Oh, that was played well by Tampa. Oh, that was played really well. There was no option on the option there. Jaden just kind of had to take the lesser of two evils. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, that's been one of the staples there for this Washington offense. Tampa ready for that. All right. 17th play of the drive. It's been almost 9 minutes. Man, here we go. And it's third down. Third and about 10. End zone. Touchdown. De'Ami Brown. Oh, we'll see about the flag. But for the moment, oh, what a drive by Washington. Getting the fourth down. Couple of big conversions. 17 plays over 9 minutes for the lead. We'll see about the laundry, though. Referees are sorting some things out. Chris Collinsworth saying maybe there's a hit on Daniels, too. Maybe a couple penalties. Tampa's cheering. Oh, yeah, he got him in the knee. Oh, yeah. That's pretty sketchy. I mean, it's tough, right? Like, I don't think Diaby was trying to do that. That is a little scary. Yeah. Wait. They're going to put it on the point after try. I will say, yeah, to be like for the Bucks, like usually they get you if you hit them up high, right? Like they don't usually call low hits on the quarterback as much. Man. And at the very least, it's not like that's what caused the touchdown. Like, you know, they scored either way, but still, like, yeah. They're just going to make it a shorter point after try, I guess. Well, no. Maybe. I don't know. But we got Garrett Posey in here, too. Welcome to the stream, Garrett. Good to have you in here. I'll just take the extra point, but Commanders take the lead 7-3. What a drive. 17 plays, man. That was a Commanders drive right there. Cliff Kingsbury, kind of in his bag this year, you know? I owe you an apology, Cliff. I was not familiar with your game. As everything about this Commanders team, I was so down on, and I was so wrong about. I did not like the Cliff Kingsbury hiring. I was like, man, we saw this in Arizona. It didn't work. You know, he wasn't even that great with USC last year. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. It's not even like he drastically changed up his offense either, right? I don't know, but Garrett saying, what's up, man? New football fan. Just got to say, I love your use of video game music in your videos. Reminds me of Summoning Salt. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. New football fan. Welcome to life as a football fan, man. That's awesome. Good to have you in here. I appreciate that you're spending your new experience as a football fan here in the Dr. Pigskin stream. Sebastian saying, I used the Summoning Salt theme song in the last one. You know what's funny? And I might have already said this. I've never really watched Summoning Salt before. Now, I know, like, who he is, right? He does, like, the speedrunning history videos and stuff like that. And, like, I've always liked his vibe. And I know, like, he's, like, in that same sort of space as, like, some other creators I like. He's kind of, if I'm not mistaken, he seems to be, like, the John Boys of video games a little bit, right? But it's funny, like, to be honest, when I was like putting in the music for my video, like I literally just do like copyright free synthwave. And I was like, oh, this one sounds cool. I'm going to use this one. Legitimately, that's how I used that song. I got so many comments on that video like, yo, Summoning Salt mentioned, like Summoning Salt reference. And like, I think the song's name was We're Finally Landing, right? They're like, oh, we're finally landing. I'm like, that's so funny. Like that was a complete like coincidence that I used it, but I'm glad that people like it though. That's awesome. I've always liked that type of sound. You know, I think it usually fits the tone of my videos pretty well, but that is the lore behind that song. It's like one of the biggest things that people loved about my videos. Like, actually, that was a bit of an accident. Da, 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 da. But he said directly that John is his biggest inspo. That's awesome. Now I can kind of relate to that, to be honest. Like John Boyes and his content is definitely something like, man, like just like being able to make something as beautiful as that, whether it's history of documentaries or like pretty good. To me, that is like the pinnacle of like a creator, just like all the work that he puts in. He's got his own vibe and theme and stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. I did not know that though. Maybe I'll have to actually like watch Summoning Salt now, get familiar with his game a little bit. Here we go. Wow. Quite the graphic. Also, I think when I turn my monitor off, my scoreboard just like stops updating. So I am just going to have to like take the L and like just have it up and just try not to look and get spoilers or anything because it still says the Commanders have 0 points. So we're just going to fix that. I mean, it's not like it's that big of a deal. It doesn't make or break my stream or anything, but we'll just do that. We'll just do that. I still need to watch that Kadarius Toney video too. Depending on when this game gets on, maybe I'll watch that tonight. But that's been in my recommended for so long now. I need to actually sit down and watch that. Sebastian is hit. John is his too. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ryan Astley might have to lose his mind if the Bucks go 3-0. Hey, that's a long game, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. A lot of plays left in this game. Both sides of the ball. A lot of plays left. Kadarius Toney fan club. Sebastian mentioned this on the prediction stream on Thursday, but John has a vid up on Patreon where he gets me emotional by talking about the structure of the MLB season. I've always thought about subscribing to his Patreon, getting early access to some of the videos that he makes and like exclusive content, right? They've got the annex. It's like, what, $5 a month? I might do that. The MLB season structure. See about this penalty here. They're looking for Evans again. Oh, a chop block. Wow. Fairly rare penalty called right there. Oh, they got Cody Mauk for it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean that is a pretty dangerous play. Tough. Man, that's a brutal penalty too. That's a 15-yarder. It's 2nd and 24 now. Oh. You got to get like 10 yards here. Chop block is like one guy goes high, one guy goes low, pretty much. Look out. They're going to check it down. Another penalty. Right, so like you've got one guy coming in, hitting high, the other dude comes low. Very dangerous play, obviously. You could like snap the dude in half. Used to be a staple back in the day, but they're really trying to take it out of the game. I think I explained that all right, but holding on the Bucks, man. Oh, they got Wirfs for it? Yeah. A few tough penalties up front right now. That was not on Wirfs. That was definitely Bredesen. Yeah. Well, here we go. 3rd and 22. Just a little dump off here probably. They're going to have Baker drop deep. Is he going to scramble? No, he'll just chuck it to White. They'll get back to the original line of scrimmage there. Well, big stop for Washington. Who started with the ball? It was the Bucks, right? I think so. They did. Shoot. Mind is in Alaska. I've never heard that one before, actually. Showing some old Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore fights. That's awesome. Jamison Crowder. Oh, nearly got popped there. Oh, not a bad return. I like forgot that Jamison Crowder was still in the league up until a few weeks ago. He had a touchdown against the Eagles in that crazy Eagles game. I was like, wait, Jamison Crowder is still in the league. Yeah, penalties killing the Bucks. Game saying you said this game is a marathon, not a sprint, but most people thought the offenses would be sprinting past the defenses throughout this game. Why do you think the defenses have played so well so far? Well, I think a lot of it is like the pace of the game, right? Like this Commanders offense just had a drive that took up 9 minutes. I mean, that's like almost a half of football when you really think about it, right? And they did get to like a fourth down and stuff. I mean, I don't know. The Bucks' run game hasn't really been super good right now, and like for as great as Baker is and as great as Mike is, like that has been their secret sauce this year is being able to run the ball. And I'm looking at Bucky's stats right now, right? 6 carries for 18 yards. I thought that was going to be maybe one of the big things that the Bucks would exploit in this game is they'd get Bucky going, and like this offensive line is good, and this Commanders' run defense has struggled at times. Like I thought, like okay. This could be a big Bucky Irving game. Has not been the case so far. It has been a lot on Baker. And then this past drive, you just had some penalties like that chop block. That's a loss of 15, I mean, that just more or less kills your drive right there, right? It's such an uphill battle on second down already. So I think the defenses have played all right. We've seen some good linebacker play, right? Seen some good pressure on both sides at times, but I don't know. Pace of play, penalties, killing drives, and the Bucks haven't been able to run the ball. I would say that would be my diagnosis for why it's 7-3 right now. And maybe I should have known, because I still think we could see some good offensive moments in this game, but maybe I should have known, this won't be a 30-30 game just because, the Commanders do take up a lot of time on their drives usually. But who knows? Maybe they'll hit another explosive, right? We saw that Terry McLaurin go ball in the first drive. Sebastian saying the Commanders are only allowed to win playoff games against the Bucks, apparently. Michael saying, I think it was 2016 or 2017. Crowder was a reliable fantasy receiver. Or 29-17. Dude, that would be crazy. Just like cyborg Jamison Crowder, 5 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown from the slot. Oh. I am Jamison Crowder from the year 2917. Welcome to Jeff Bezos's National Football League. Sebastian saying, Dan Quinn watched my video. Hey, what if he did? Nah, there's no way. That'd be pretty funny, though. Like a coach just sees my video, this dude has a point. Oh, they're showing the bloody cheek of Jaden again. Has been a rough second quarter for the Bucks so far. But, Chris Collinsworth. We wouldn't even show anybody if that wasn't a quarterback. Oh, they stuffed him there. There you go. Third down. Sebastian saying, but he would have better longevity than Brady. But would he? It'd be close. Probably Crowder if he played another 800 plus years. 900 plus years. Yeah. Oh, boo. Here we go. Yeah, we got anything for clicks in here. Fair enough. I knew this was coming. Fair enough. Eagles defense came to play today. Hurts turned it on when he needed to. Wide receivers looked pretty good. I mean, hey, you had a quiet game from A.J. Brown and still won. Yeah. You know what? Fly, Eagles, fly. I was wrong. Look at that. Also saying Washington, the better team. They're looking like it right now. Sebastian saying, apparently NFL coaches got more aggressive in the mid-2000s because of an economics paper, so you never know. I remember vaguely reading something about that when I was doing research for my video. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but yeah, just some random economist wrote a paper about going for it, right? And it circled around the league a little bit, and you saw a slight uptick in fourth down aggression. Oh, yeah, I do remember reading something about that, though. Third down has been killer in this game so far. Yeah, Washington has been pretty good on third down. Try to find it. Please do. Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome. Oh, Jaden almost got popped again. He got the first down. Prayers to N'Kobe Dean, though, and all the Packers. Yeah, dude, the injuries in that game just sucked, man. There was a lot of them. Some of them were kind of scary. Yeah, that was tough. Games asking, who was I more disappointed with, Jordan Love or Justin Herbert? That is a great question. Um, Probably Herbert, just because they were both not good, and I was pretty high on Love coming into the year, and I still am pretty high on both these quarterbacks, all things considered. But with Herbert, you know, here's what I'll say. I think it is fair to say, you know what? Yeah, the Chargers receivers weren't good. The line outside of the tackles wasn't great, right? All that can be true, but he also just did not play well. Like, he had objectively a bad game. That was one of the worst games of his career. And it is fair to say, like, honestly, it just, if you're a Herbert supporter, like, it just sucks for you right now because Herbert has 2 playoff games. One of them, they blew a 27-point lead. And to be quite honest, he wasn't really that good in that game either. And then we had yesterday. And I think it's a little unfair to put those 2 games and say, like, see, like, that's just who he is, right? But it is also fair to say that, fair or not, he has not risen to the occasion. Some of it is on his environment, but some of it is on him, and it is tough. And we waited a few years to see him in the playoffs again. So it's a new look Chargers, right? A different Chargers, but they chargered pretty hard yesterday, and it's like, oh, Again, all things considered, you have to feel great about how the Chargers season went, right? They exceeded expectations. I did not think this was going to be a playoff team going into the year. This is year 1 of a big rebuild. But you know what? Oh, Diaby got him. Big sack. Got a flag down. Let's see what this flag is. But for the moment, Yaya Diaby with a huge sack. They had not been able to corral Jaden for most of this game. It was a third down, which had been killing him. Oh, no. Oh, defensive holding on Zion McCollum. First down, Commanders. That's killer. Oh. Yeah, there's a little bit of a grab there. Man, that is brutal. That is just a heck of an effort by Diaby, too. Just sticking with it, knowing that he needs to just, like, keep holding on to Daniels or otherwise he'll escape. Man. First down now for the Commanders. Back to Robinson. And it's also fair to say, too, the Packers played probably the slightly better defense. Yeah, that is true, too. But I would say Herbert was a little bit more disappointing. And he was so good this year, too. I mean, we've all seen this, but he literally threw for more interceptions yesterday than he did in all the regular season. It was crazy. Anything for clicks asking, was N'Kobe's knee injury serious? I guess I haven't seen, like, an official diagnosis yet. I can try and look that up right now. But he's had a pretty good year for them. I mean, he was carted off, but yeah. Usually not good, but here we go. Third down again. This one's a bit of a third and longer. 3rd and 6. But Sebastian saying, shout out David Romer, who saved the sport of football. That must be The Economist. Could post these in Discord if you all want. Please do. Yeah, go ahead. Throw that thing in the Discord. That might be some bedtime reading for me, since I don't read books. Oh, David Romer. Nice. I'll have to read that thing and see what exactly his contention is. That's a big word right there. Well, of course, that's your contention. Well, Goodwill Hunting reference. Here we go. 3rd and 6, right before the 2-minute warning. Daniels has time. Go ball down the sideline. McLaurin broken up. What a play. Zion McCollum. The guy who got the holding on the previous 3rd down. What a play. getting his paw in there, breaking it up. Woo, woo, woo. Look at that. Yeah, he just knocks it out. Those deep balls to Terry are scary, man. There you go. I see it being posted. I see the link. Appreciate it, man. I'll have to check it out later. That's awesome. Ryan Ossie would have flown into the sun. That would have been tough. Game saying, imagine throwing 4 interceptions in a playoff game. What a bum. See, imagine throwing 4 picks and losing. Our king Trevor does that and wins because he motivates his defense to be better in the second half, and he motivates his receivers better to catch. But you also got to say, Trevor went absolutely stupid in the second half of that game too, right? I mean, you know. And to bring it full circle, I think you got to give some credit to Staley. He had a good game plan in the first half against that Jaguars defense. Brett Coleman had a really good video about how that game went and kind of like the tale of two halves, right? And it's also fair to say, like, okay, it's kind of on Staley for maybe not making a great adjustment in the second half when the Jaguars adjusted. But usually 4 picks in the first half and a 27-0 lead is enough to win you the game, you know. But a Tom Brady strategy. But yeah, I remember watching that game while playing poker back when I was in college, and I remember saying like, "Hey, I think the Jaguars could win this game," and I was so hyped. Barry McCockner smiling down on me today. Oh man, the man that convinced an entire generation that Tom Brady was a system quarterback. Oh my gosh, I remember like when I first saw Barry. I saw him on Twitter back in like high school with that profile pic, that doctor from that one commercial. Oh man, that Tom Brady is a system quarterback take. It did not help that he was playing on those anemic Patriots offenses where Julian Edelman was their only good receiver. And it's not like Brady's going to be throwing go balls to Edelman, but they got the job done. And then Brady went to Tampa with some good receivers, and look what happened. You know, that's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. But I remember, like, back in high school, too, like, at the lunch table, getting into debates with people, like, with my friends over, like, whether Brady was a system QB or not. I remember thinking I was so smart. Like, oh, my gosh. Like, someone was like, well, it's just Belichick's system. And I was like, What's Belichick's system? He's a defensive guy. I was like, Brady's the system. Man, I really did go to war for Brady back in high school. But 52-yard kick is up, and it is good. Commanders get 3 more points, 10-3. Still a one-score game, though. Holding him to a kick there is pretty big, right? So probably be Tampa's final possession here the first half, right? Washington does get the ball to start the second half. Man, I think you got to try and get a touchdown here. Touchdown here. I mean, getting 3 is fine and you cut the deficit, but with Washington starting the second half with the ball, you want to try and get a 1:51 touchdown drive. That's what I'll say. I mean, things are usually never that perfect, but if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm trying to script up my drive to, like, just take enough time off the clock, you know? Start with, like, a big shot play maybe. Like, you definitely want to just, at the beginning, like, focus on getting yards before you even worry about the clock, right? Scoring comes first before anything, but first play, try and maybe get a nice chunk play so then you can have the luxury of trying to milk some more clock. That's what I would do. Of course, I'm down here, but, you know. Daniels has been pretty good. Chris Collinsworth talking about that right now. 11 for 16, 108 touchdown, 8 for 31 on the ground. Sebastian saying, that's what I'm saying. Belichick was the one sending motivational text messages to defensive players. Brady deserves no credit and just benefited from Belichick's system. Oh, man. Oh, man. Games saying, I don't know, man. Mahomes might be a system QB. I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl with 0 wide receivers. Literally. And running backs, tight ends, offensive line, and defense. Yeah, dude. I mean, if he like having teammates is kind of being a system quarterback. Oh, you have teammates? You don't do 1v11? That's what Drew Lock would do. Drew Lock would go 1v11 and win. They're going to run it. They tried to catch him by surprise, maybe. I mean, I guess you do still have 2 timeouts, but they hand it off to Rashad White. Trying to get that run game going, maybe. See if they could just bust one big run play there. But I have to imagine they thought they'd be able to catch him napping right there, right? Seemed like an obvious passing situation, and you've got your pass pro back in there. Ugh. Kind of just hit as he's thrown right there. Is this game too big for Cohen? I mean, this has been like a spotlight game for him, right? Potential head coach candidate, right? A lot of eyes on him. People wondering if maybe he was going to show out today. Not been his best work so far. 3rd and 9 already for the Bucs now. The clock has stopped too. I was saying all this about, well, you need to find the happy medium between yardage and time, but here we are, and all of a sudden, if you're the Bucs, you're like, guys, we need at least 1 first down here. We can't just punt the ball back to him. Baker's going to step up. Does he have the legs for it? Oh, he trucks a man. Oh my gosh. Violent, angry Baker. We'll see about the penalty. That is something you'll see with the Bucs a lot, right? Honestly, when the Bucs are struggling, Baker kind of just gets mad and he just starts to run over people. We saw that last week against the Saints. Offsides. Okay, play stands. I mean, that is a way to get the team fired up, right? Your quarterback's out here putting his body on the line, lowering the shoulder against Bobby Wagner. Are you kidding me? He just trucked Bobby Wagner. Oh, my goodness. Baker. There's Evans again. Is he going to get out of bounds? Yep. There you go. Bucs offense starting to move a little bit. Man, I wonder if you could do a study on, like, the Baker Mayfield truck stick effect of, like, the Buccaneers are struggling on offense. Baker's just like, F you, I'm going to scramble and run over someone, and that gets the team fired up, you know? But that 110% happened last week against the Saints. Some of those big Baker runs to just get the Bucs back in it a little bit. Over the middle. Oh, Cade Otton, who was once referenced in a rap song. True story. Got the Bucs like Cade Otton or something like that. I can't remember the exact lyric, but I saw that. I thought that was so funny. Like, he's pretty good. Like, he's a pretty good player. It's just like name dropping Cade Otton in your rap song is just so random. Look out. Fader, Evans into the red zone. Here they come. Lattimore is just ticked off right now. He is incensed. And also, Tampa, you have 2 timeouts. You should have probably called one there. Oh, I think the Bucs should have called one there. They're letting a lot of time go off the clock. Now they call it. They should have called it to begin with, right? I mean, you're setting up shop at the 12-yard line. It's not like you have that much longer to go. The odds that you're tackled in bounds and that clock is still running is pretty low, right? It takes a lot of time to get your offense moved up, even if it's like a 12-yard pass. You had 2 timeouts. This is nitpicky. Probably could have called that a little bit earlier. You could have gotten like an extra play or 2, but regardless, what a drive from Tampa right here. I say all that. They're taking all that time off the clock now. 1st and 10 from the 12. I would say, they have 17 seconds? You probably have 17 seconds. You could take 3 shots at the end zone. You could take 3 shots at the end zone with 17 seconds left in the half, right? Man, you got to find a way to score. If you're Liam Cohen, what is your best red zone play, right? Who are you going to get open? Thinking maybe McMillan, right? A lot of attention's going to be on Evans. Can you get McMillan open on something? That might be who I might go to. He's been the hot hand. He's been good for them finding the end zone. Bucs are in the Immaculate Grid. Ooh, all right. They seem to be in a lot of these grids these days. Look at that. Bucks up big. You agree calling a timeout at 25 seconds? Yeah. I mean, that would have just, maybe then they could have thrown it over the middle. But now you have one timeout. You can try one play where you're not thrown towards the sideline or towards the end zone. Like, you could throw it once over the middle if you really wanted to. But then from there, you got to be stopping the clock, But it could have been worse, I guess. Game Solve saying, I know you think Ben Johnson is staying at Detroit unless they win the Super Bowl, but do you think there's a scenario where the Lions perform so badly in the divisional round that he leaves? If they perform badly and he leaves, I don't know. Because I just think if you're Detroit, right, like, you could really talk yourself into, like, let's say Detroit, I won't even say just like they run into like some team in the divisional round and they lose by like 20, right? I think if you're Detroit, it'll be very easy to sell yourself on the fact that, you know what, like, we were one of the most injured teams in the league. We got really close. Like, you can't, like we know we're almost there. Let's run it back one more year, right? I think if you're Dan Campbell, you might try and make that pitch to your coordinators. Like, guys, like, literally one of our most important players, maybe our best player, got injured midway through the year. We lost all these guys on defense. We lost David Montgomery for a little bit, like, we can be better next year. We have cap space. We're not losing anyone, So I don't know. I think it's going to come down to how seriously he takes, like, the Raiders or the Jaguars, right? Like, if one of those teams can sell him on being a part of their organization, he might leave. But it just would not shock me if he ended up staying in Detroit another year. That's still my prediction. Here we go. Looking for Evans. And now, they're going to get a flag. Here we go. It's Evans and Lattimore again. They're going to get a flag near the end zone, maybe even in the end zone. They'll get him a first down, too. Yeah, they're going to call PI for it. Ball was in the air. Wow. Here we go. A little bit of, he wrapped him up a little bit there. Yeah. But Ben Johnson does not deserve Trent Baalke. Yeah. I think that's what killed him. Don't keep him. I don't know. Don't keep him. They're going to try he got it. I thought they were going for the fade. They hit him with the slant instead. Evans gets the touchdown on Lattimore. And we are a kick away from a tie game going into halftime. What a drive by Tampa. That was almost exactly what I said they needed to do. Touchdown drive in 1:42. Commanders will have 10 seconds left in the half. Man, they got it. They got what they needed. And I'm looking at this win probability chart. Bucks, 54.9% now. Man, that was a big drive right there. If the Bucks go on to win this game, remember this touchdown drive. That might have been a season-saving drive, to be honest. Or Khan. Yeah, well, Khan is the dude that seems to be obsessed with Baalke. Like, I read some report. I can't remember where it was from, right? And we don't know. Like, this isn't, like, gospel or anything. But I read something like, all these people wanted Baalke gone, but Khan likes Baalke so much, he's like, no, everyone else is wrong. We're keeping Baalke. It's like, dog. 10 seconds. Yeah, it is 10 to 10 with 10 seconds left. Look at that. Ryan Asty found his mind. It wasn't in Alaska. Thank goodness. Whew. That would have been pretty rough. Look at Evans fired up. Scoring touchdowns is good. Dude, scoring touchdowns rocks. It's awesome. I love scoring touchdowns. There's nothing better in football. It's how you win games. Touchdowns win games. Got me feeling nicey. Shred 'em, baby. Hoo! Sorry, there was not enough uncomfortable eye contact. Mike Evans going up against Marshawn Lattimore. Old heated rival. Catching a touchdown on the slant. Are you kidding me? Shred 'em, baby. Hoo! Location verification required. Hold up. I've had this pop up on my YouTube TV once earlier today. So if YouTube TV is listening, no, you didn't hear this. But um so I am on my parents' YouTube TV subscription, right? Now my parents still live up in Fargo, up in North Dakota. And if you know about YouTube TV, like they don't really want you sharing your account, and so they make you like verify your location every once in a while, right? So it thinks that I live in North Dakota. And they'll have this pop up like, "We've noticed you're not in your home market. You're not in Fargo, you're near Atlanta." And every time I click like, "No, it's chill. Like I'm here temporarily, like I'm here on vacation." And then it's like, "Okay, in 3 months, you must sign in your home location, to like verify." And it just so happens like I'm always like home or near home every 3 or so months, or like enough where I can like keep signing back in. And so like I did that over Thanksgiving. So I still have a little bit of time left, but I think they're on to me. I think they've realized I haven't been on vacation in Georgia for like 5 years. I think they're on to me. But all right, we'll get this grid pulled up here in a sec. But a good first half, 10-10. Certainly can't complain whatsoever. Certainly can't complain whatsoever. But all right, let's do a halftime immaculate grid, shall we? Shall we? Ryan Nasty got me feeling nicey. Fired up right there. Got me feeling nicey. All right, we're going to have to do this. We just have to keep resetting this. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but what can you do? All right. So, for this immaculate grid, let's see what we're working with here. We've got Packers Eagles, we've got Packers Bills, we've got Packers Seahawks, Eagles Bucks, Bills Bucks, Seahawks Bucks, Eagles Broncos, Bills Broncos, and Seahawks Broncos. Yeah, Seahawks is kind of a random inclusion, right? I think it was Michael that was saying that. Michael and Ryan Asti. Every team that's playing is in the grid except for the Commanders. And we've got the Seahawks in here for some reason. Ryan Asti saying, "Can I do all Bucks?" Go for it, man. Let her rip. While you start cooking with the Bucks, I'll think of some here. Eagles and Packers. Let's see. Eagles, Packers. Eagles, Packers. I always want to say Cullen Jenkins, but I know that's Packers Giants. Cullen Jenkins played for the Eagles, right? He was on the dream team, wasn't he? Yes. 0.9% Cullen Jenkins. Bang. Bang. We got Michael Bennett for Eagles Bucks. Yo, that's right. You're talking about the defensive end, right? Michael Bennett. Oh, because he started his career with the Bucks, didn't he? And then he went to the Seahawks, and he was on the Legion of Boom team that won the Super Bowl. Great pass rusher there for a long time. And did he end his career with the Eagles? But yeah, people forget he did start his career with the Bucks. It's got to be, right? Bang! 0.5%. Oh, what a pull right there. Let's go. We've got two guys right now, both under 1%. That's awesome. That's awesome. Eagles, Broncos, we could always do Evan Mathis, but we always do Evan Mathis when we get that square. We can do a little bit better. I'll think of someone else for that. Let's see. We got Reed saying for Pack Seahawks, John Ryan, Matt Flynn, or Matt Hasselbeck. Ooh, those are some pretty good ones right there. John Ryan, the punter. I did not know that he played for the Packers. I'll do him. We got a punter pull. Bro, all three of our guys have been under 1% so far. Cole Beasley, Bucks, Bills. Yeah, he did play for the Bucks. All right, we'll do Cole Beasley. Bang. Look at that. Still under 10%. DRC. Oh, that's a good one. Dominique Rogers Cromartie for Eagles Broncos. Yeah. Dominique Rogers Cromartie. I have a fun story. Is incredibly niche reference. This is like I would be so happy if someone else knew what I was talking about. But Dominique Rogers Cromartie, he was a free agent. I believe it was 2013 or 2014. I can't remember. But this was before he signed with the Giants, right? I'm just going to double check. But I think it was Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie when he went to the Giants. Yeah, so that would have been 2014. He was a pretty good player at that point, right? So it's like, oh, how big is his contract going to be? Oh, we got a Grossi raid. No way. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Grossi Posse. Good to have you guys in here. How about that? Wow. Heck yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the love. Look at that. Got the emojis going crazy right now. Fun fact, this is actually my third Grossi raid. That's crazy. Man, a Grossi hat trick. Sorry about the Packers today, Grossi Posse. I truly say that. I know there's some Viking stuff, right? I might be the purple incarnation of Satan, but that was a tough game. I mean, it sucks seeing all those guys go down, but we're doing a little bit of a halftime Immaculate Grid right now. Just chilling. Nice little Sunday night game, capping it off. But look at that. Man, as soon as I saw the chat blow up, I was like, oh, here we go. First time I had a Grossi raid, I got so scared, dude. Like, it was the Vikings were playing in that game. It was Vikings-Eagles Thursday night. This would have been the first Thursday night game of last year. And I'm seeing, like, all these comments, and it's like, oh, no, like, my stream got posted on, like, a subreddit, and, like, we're losing right now. Like, I'm going to get trolled. No, it was a Grossi raid, but that's awesome. Very good point, Pair Champ. I am going to plug the Discord. I'll say this again, give my little spiel since we're all here, right? A lot of new people. I am Dr. Pigskin. I make NFL content, video essays, live streams. I'm doing this a lot. I'll be going live again tomorrow nights. And if you're so inclined, I do have a Discord. Let me actually post the link in chat. If you guys are into that type of stuff, we have a lot of fun in there. We were talking about the George Kittle Hall of Fame candidacy legitimacy the other day. But let's get this pulled up right here. But yeah, a little stat head comp between Levante David, Bobby Wagner. It's pretty new, right? I'm still pretty new to this whole Discord stuff, and I've got a lot of help along the way, but I appreciate all the love. Shout out to Chaotic Good. Look at that. Yo, we got a Vikings fan in here too, but that's awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. That's awesome, man. That just made my day. That was awesome. All right, so let's see. I got to find this invite link here. Nah, that's not it. And now I closed out. As you can see, I'm still a little new to this, but here we go. Invite people. I'm sure this will get drowned out in the chat. I suppose you could click on my link tree too. I have a link tree up in my channel. I'll pin this because I actually know how to do that now. I'll pin this for the time being, but that's so cool too. I was like, let's go. They got in here while I was actually doing decent on a grid too, but people giving me a sub, I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys. But all right, back to the Immaculate Grid. We have been killing it so far. We have a Bucks fan in here, Ryan Asty, that's been helping me out with the Bucks. We've got Packers and Bills here. Packers, Bills. I'll have to come back to that. I can't even think of an obvious one for that. Bills, Broncos. We've also got Seahawks, Broncos. Bucks, Seahawks. Bucks, Seahawks. Oh, what was that one safety? Ryan. Oh, yeah, I'll get to that DRC story, too. Ryan Neal, right? We'll get Ryan Neal for Bucks, Seahawks. So anyways, yes, this DRC story, as I was saying, Michael, thank you for reminding me. I kind of got sidetracked there. So Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was a free agent, right, going into the 2014 season. And he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty sought-after guy, right? Played a premium position at corner. And in the Madden Ultimate Team forms on EA's website, which no longer exists, this form literally no longer exists, but there's a lot of speculation over like, oh, where is he going to go and stuff like that. And like right before the news broke, someone edited his Wikipedia page and said that the Giants signed him. They're like, no way, he's going to the Giants. Like, let's see the contract details. And the contract they posted, it was like 5 years and like 150 million or something like that. Everyone's freaking out like, oh no, like that's way too much. Like he's good, but we overpaid him. That's crazy. And then like 10 minutes later, it got changed to 10 years, like 500 million. And then from there, it got changed to 10 years for $1. So there's this one brief hour period on a random day in March in 2014 where Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie Wikipedia page was just getting vandalized over and over again with people just making the most ridiculous contract numbers. And I only know that because I was on the Madden Ultimate Team forum on that day. But if there was like an NFL iceberg, that would be like the absolute lowest level right there. That was crazy. But Rasul Douglas, Bills, Packers. That is the obvious one, isn't it? Yo, Nick Barnett's for Green Bay and Buffalo. We're going to do Nick Barnett. That is an unbelievable poll. I cannot remember the last time I've thought of Nick Barnett. 2%. Let's go. I got the verify location thing popping up again. YouTube TV is on to me. YouTube TV is on to me. Ryan Asti hates Ryan Neal. What? No, some Ryan Neal beef? Interesting. I suppose, he came over from Seattle to Tampa, right? He was kind of a disappointment. I guess he hasn't really seen the field a whole lot from my understanding. But, all right, we've got 2 left here on this grid. Bills, Broncos. Bills, Broncos. There might have been some good ones in there. Bills, Packers, Jake Kumaro. Oh, that would have been a good one, too. That would have been a good one. Oh, Von Miller. Duh, that's the obvious one, right? I suppose he was traded to LA and not Buffalo. They're like some sort of journeyman quarterback. Yo, Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton. That might be decently high, but that's still under 10%. Case Keenum would have been a good one too. Dang. Yo, Lovato's in here. Let's go. Says, I'm a simple man. I see a Dr. Pigskin live stream and you click on it. Let's go. Good to have you back in here, Lovato. Hope you're enjoying your nice Sunday night here. Some playoff action. Justin Forsett for Seahawks and Broncos. I did not know he played for the Broncos. I like using Justin Forsett for Seahawks Ravens. Bang. Oh, 21. Oh, yeah, Noah Fant, Russell Wilson. Those would have been good ones, too. My goodness. All right, chat came in clutch there. I can't lie. I got a few of these. I'm proud of the Cullen Jenkins poll. But, oh, my goodness. That has got to be one of my lowest rarity scores ever. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that. That is insanity. I might put this up on my fridge. We need proof of this. Pixar, it didn't happen. See, and I say that. That is true. I am trying to get obscure picks. Sometimes, though, I do just have to be like, all right, Von Miller, right? Sometimes you just got to take the safety valve. I've been there before. I've gotten like 66% Brandon Cooks before. You know, it happens. Micah Hyde, that would have been a good one, too. But, all right. Probably about time here for the second half. Let's see if we can do a speed grid. Did I play yesterday's grid? I did not. Speed grid, Chargers, Texans. Ah, shoot. All right, this is already getting hairy. Chargers 1,000-yard rushing season. How about Ryan Matthews? Chargers 50 sacks career. I was talking about Sean Phillips on Discord yesterday. Did he get to 50? That's a high bar. I'm going to say he did. Oh, 1% Sean Phillips. All right. Ravens 50 sacks. How about Elvis Dumervil? He had to have gotten to 50, right? He had a few insane seasons. Nice. 6% Elvis Dumervil. Lamar Woodley probably didn't quite get to 50 for the Steelers. James Harrison is a safe one. Cam Hayward might have snuck up there just because he's played so long. He's not like a big sacks guy, right? But he's played for so long. He's kind of a big name, though. Lamar Woodley. There's no way. He kind of fizzled out. He had a nice peak, but shoot. Greg Lloyd. How about Greg Lloyd? He played a little bit earlier. Nice. 3% Greg Lloyd. All right. Ravens 1,000-yard rusher. We'll get Justin Forsett again. He got 1,000 yards in 2014. Steelers, Willie Parker. All right, we're going to go quick for these teams here. The game's about to start, second half. All right, let's see. Corey Liuget. Oh, that's a good one. Steelers, Chargers, Corey Liuget. Wow. Yeah, he was a first rounder for the Chargers. Man, Kevin Green. Oh, yeah, for sacks. That would have made sense. Willis McGahee for Ravens, I'm assuming. Or that would have been 1,000-yard probably. Yeah, I think he got there too. Chris Moore for Houston, Baltimore. That's crazy. Chris Moore. Man, you are killing it. Oh, my goodness. All right. Steelers, Texans. Let's just get this quick. Who is someone that played for the Steelers and the Texans? Um, ah, ah. Why is this one always so hard? All right, just one more. Sammy Coates. My goodness, you are a machine. We were talking about Sammy Coates like a month ago. 33. That's not bad. All right. Back to the second half. We've got Todd Bowles talking right now. Jacoby Jones. Ben Tate. A lot of good pulls here. All right, second half. There's Zacchaeus. Yeah, it's just been kind of a slow grind for the Commanders on offense, right? A lot of short passes, a lot of runs, but that's just kind of how they do business. Daniels with that sparkling completion percentage again. Very Jared Goff-esque, a little Goffy. Game solved asking, would I rather be coached by Josh McDaniels or Nathaniel Hackett? Probably Hackett because, obviously neither of them have had good runs as head coaches, right? At least Nathaniel Hackett tries to be fun. Josh McDaniels is like, no, I want to be Bill Belichick, but offense. Patriot way, Nathaniel Hackett, maybe he's a little kooky, maybe he's a little quirky. And, it probably sucks, when you lose. And he's like, epic, But I don't know. I mean, if you look at, how excited the Raiders were last year after they fired him, right? You had Max Crosby smoking cigars in the locker room. I mean, let's be that's how Antonio Pierce kind of got the job, was just how bad Josh McDaniels was, and everyone didn't like him. And he burned some bridges in Denver, and he burned some bridges in Indianapolis. So I would probably say Hackett. Fart Man is saying, yo, what up? Can I fart real quick? By all means, go ahead. Jalen Samuels. Oh, yeah. He was a cheat code in fantasy for a little bit. He had that tight end eligibility as a running back. Anthony Miller would have been a good one. Oh, yeah. Man. As we always like to say, right? Men just love to sit here. Men and women. You know what? Women like to do this too. Football fans, I should say, like to just sit here and name random players or name random athletes. Trick question. The correct answer was Shane Waldron. We stand with Shane Waldron. Hashtag Shane did nothing wrong. Crazy. Seahawks need an offensive coordinator. I know one that needs work. That's one of my favorite bits. Daniels is... Oh! He just escapes, man. There's De'Ami Brown. Now he's trucking someone. There's been a few nice trucks in this game so far. The truck stick has been active. Man, going into this game, I heard a few stats, right? Todd Bowles historically has been pretty good against mobile quarterbacks, pretty good at just keeping them in the pocket. Not today, though, man. Jaden's getting out of that pocket. He's making throws on the run. He's had a few big scrambles to pick up some nice chunks of yards. I'm with you, Lovato. This definitely has been the best playoff game so far. Right? Two just really good offenses that aren't afraid to throw haymakers back and forth. This one has lived up to the hype so far. Brown again. They got him on the screen. He's making people miss. A little bit of juice after the catch right there. Down inside the 5. What a drive to start for the Commanders. Cliff got in his bag at halftime. He's like, all right, this opening script is about to go crazy in the second half. Just get him out in space. Let him cook. That Dallas Goedert play on Carrington Valentine is so embarrassing. That was pretty vicious. We've seen some vicious stiff arms, too. Obviously, there's the Derrick Henry one. I mean, that's just kind of par for the course, right? But yeah, that was mean. That Josh Jacobs run was pretty good, too. That was very Marshawn Lynch-esque. Loss of a yard. Parachamp saying, I think we all expected this game to be the most entertaining game out of the wild card. Oh, yeah. There's a reason I chose to go live for this game and then tomorrow night's game, right? Not just because the Vikings are involved, but I really do think these will probably be the two best games of the wild card round. These feel like the most evenly matched teams of the all the 6 games, right? Man, whoever wins this game could be a fun little, not Cinderella, because if you're in the playoffs, you're good, but the winner of this game could be a little bit dangerous. We'll see. Matt Canada's available. They did put it on SNF. You know, and people like Baker is super marketable. Jaden Daniels has been super marketable, right? Like these are two quarterbacks you can really get behind and sell as like must see TV, right? Nah, NBC got themselves a good one with this game. The indie breaking news of hiring McDaniels. That was crazy. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Oh, it's broken up. What a play. Yo, let's go. What a play. Diving stop. Jamel Dean. Wow. I've heard reports that he's like a pretty cool dude, to be honest, too. I know someone that works with the Bucks. He says Jamel Dean is super cool. He'll sit with him at lunch sometimes. Great 3rd down defense, yeah. That was the story of the first half, right? Washington kept getting these 3rd down conversions. They got a 4th down conversion, forcing a kick right here. Man, I wonder what the machine said for that one. This has been a pretty aggressive team on 4th down, right? We were talking about that in the first half. What did the machine say for that one? We'll see if I can actually get that one pulled up. Lovato says, I hope Tampa wins. Sorry, I lost track there. Hope Tampa wins. Would be great to see Baker continue his redemption arc. Jane and Daniel have plenty of years to win going forward. That's fair. Parent Chap asking, who do I think has the better shot of making the NFC Championship game out of these two teams? I mean, I flirted with putting Tampa in the NFC Championship game in my bracket. I just really like the way their offense is built out. I'm just such a sucker for good offensive line play. I think that's such a big difference maker, especially in the playoffs, right? As Brett Coleman likes to say, at the end of the day, it is a big boy sport, right? Who can win the trenches? Who can win the line of scrimmage? That has been a big theme of these games so far. You think about the Texans-Chargers shellacking, right? Texans won up front. They won the line of scrimmage, right? You think about the Bills game today, right? That Bills offensive line, man, they were just moving people. And obviously Josh had his role too. This is not to like discredit any of the quarterbacks or anything, right? But you look at like the last teams standing every year. If you look at like the conference championship teams, you'd be hard pressed to find one without a good offensive line. And I think like this Tampa line might be one of the 5 best lines in the league. So maybe that's a big reason why I'm so high on him. But yeah, I will say. Sebastian thinks Washington. I will say. I mean, we've seen this offense have some monster games, right? Like they've had one of the best performances against the Eagles defense this season, right? You think about that big dramatic win that they had a few weeks ago. They've got some big time performances in them too. All right, let's see what Ben Baldwin's model was saying for that 4th down. There's people in chat saying maybe they could have gone for it. I can certainly get behind that, right? Yeah, Baltimore ran for 300 yards. Again, some of that is maybe having Lamar and Derrick Henry, but really, analytics recommended a field goal there. I guess 4th and 4, didn't like their chances of actually getting it. Interesting, though. All right. You know, a lot of people say, well, you never see the analytics recommend kicking it. Sometimes you do. I will say it is pretty rare, but sometimes you do see it. This is a case where it recommended the kick. All right, there you go. We'll keep that open. We'll keep that tab open, actually. I'm just a sucker for checking that stuff. But KC can buck that O-line trend. But see, that's fair. And their tackles aren't great, but their interior is so good that it kind of cancels out. I won't say that. I mean, the big thing has been moving Joe Tooney to tackle, right? I mean, you look at, like, when they moved him and then their offensive output, like, their offense has been as good as it has been all season. And now that they have a legit left tackle and they've still got 2 all-pro caliber players on the interior, it's not a great offensive line. It's not balanced, but it's still kind of good, man. I mean, they could just run up the middle and get 3 yards every time, and that's not always pretty, and it's maddening, but that's how they stay in, like, 3rd and 3, and then Mahomes gets a 4-yard scramble, you know? But, no, I do agree, though, anything for clicks. Like, touchdowns are 3 times mathematically better than a field goal drive, right? Maybe Tampa's found their footing on offense a little bit. We'll see about the penalty there. Yeah, I think it's going to be on Washington. Face mask called right there. But I will say, yeah, I mean, that KC team that made the Super Bowl against the Bucs, their line wasn't all that great, and they were super injured, but they made it that far with it, you know. Yeah, that's pretty obvious face mask. Dorrance Armstrong, that's who I was thinking of. There you go. Came over from the Cowboys. One of Dan Quinn's disciples. Game solved asking, if I was Tampa Bay, would I keep Todd Bowles at head coach knowing Cohen has a 50-50 chance of leaving, or promote Cohen to head coach to continue Mayfield's development? Would it depend on this game's result? I think a little bit. From my understanding, people in the organization love Todd Bowles. Ownership loves him. The players love him. The coaching staff loves him. That is worth something, right? And it's hard. Like, it would be hard to see a good OC walk out the door, especially after you lost Canales last year, right? And Bowles is on the defensive side, and the defense has maybe not been, like, great this year or even the past few years. So I understand, like, man, we want to take a swing and keep the guy that we believe is, like, the better coach. But, and I'm probably going to be annoying about this, like, all off season. And this is the general idea that my next video is revolving around right now, right? Is like, there is a lot to being a head coach besides just being a sick play caller. And some of the best coaches in the league are not sick play callers. And yeah, it might stink to see Liam Cohen walk out the door. But to Todd Bowles' credit, he is the one that hired Liam Cohen. He is the one that brought in Dave Canales, right? Yes, it might suck to start over and, oh, you're losing a great offensive coordinator, but also, like, okay, what if Bowles does it again? What if he brings in another good guy, right? Bowles is well respected. People like to work with him. He's been around a long time. Who's to say he couldn't just find another one? It would suck to keep doing that year after year. But it also sucked to, like, fire Bowles. Cohen comes in. The vibes aren't as good. And it's like, oh, shoot. We just let go of a guy that's, like, won us the division year after year, you know. It's not a good spot to be in, though. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in. But let's go. He loves the take. Yeah, false starts at home those are maddening, dude. It's like, dog, you know, they happen, but yeah. Here we go. 3rd and 4. There, that shot, Lattimore on Evans, was pretty hard. Oh, they got him again. Oh, he just got pile drived. Mike Evans showing up. 6 for 84 and a touchdown now. Woo-hoo. Dude, here's what I'll say. I'll get another take off my chest now, too, since we just saw Mike Evans. And I've been saying this more or less, like, the past few weeks. Like, dude, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry, he is. Sometimes he's gotten close and just barely gotten his 1,000 yards, and you can point at the 0 All-Pros. But it's also, like he is just, like, a good player. Like, he's not lucky to be getting all these 1,000-yard seasons. Like, he is just an incredibly talented player. There's Bucky. There's the run game. First big run of the game for Tampa Bay. Bucky on a toss. Here comes this Bucs offense now. Evans is cooking. Big run for them. Ooh, nice block there by the tight ends, too, to spring him. Cade Otton, Mr. Consistent. Washington folding right now. Their defense is starting to crack a little bit. It's held up pretty well here in the first half. You wonder second half, Tampa just starts to hammer them. Oh. Trey Palmer. Too many men on the field. But yeah, I mean, you got to give Evans props for consistency, but I also feel like his peak gets underrated a little bit, right? You look at his Pro Football Reference page, there's a 1,500-yard season in there. There's a few 1,200-yard seasons. There's a lot of double-digit touchdown seasons in there, right? It's not just like, oh, another 1,002-yard season for Mike Evans. He just got it, you know. Bucky again. Man, here comes that run game that we were waiting for. Bucky shooting up the middle. He has quickly become one of my favorite backs in the NFL to watch. I just love the way he runs, man. Makes people miss. He's showing that RAS score that it's not the end all be all, right? You know, he kind of fell in the draft a little bit. He didn't have a great combine. It's like, man, is he slow? But man, you watch him at Oregon. You watch him now. This is not a dude that's slow. He didn't test well, but you put the pads on, he can move. He can make people miss. Good cut. First down, Bucky. I'm sorry if there's any Commanders. I've got like a Bucks pullover on right now. I'm like, Bucky! But I am enjoying what I'm seeing from both teams. They're just going to give it back to him. There's a stop for Washington. That was a bit of a heat check right there. Going quick, running it again. We got Rake Gareth in here too. Let's go. Saying Dan Quinn defense crumbling in the second half. Color me surprised. Spoken like a true Falcons fan right there. Oh. Hey, at least it's not that one lead, you know. At least it's not those numbers up on the scoreboard. Ryan Nasty saying we'll probably promote Josh Gizzard if he doesn't follow Liam Cohen to wherever he goes. He's our pass game coordinator. I could see that, right? You want to keep some sort of continuity in the scheme. They probably have a contingency plan. Oh, did he catch that? McMillan toe tap? Another penalty. We've seen a few flags in these games. It's on Washington, what Tarico is saying. Yep, defensive holding. Yo, Vita Vea's checking in. Okay, it's making me verify my address. Not my address, my location. You know, it's funny. I could just keep hitting dismiss and reopen it. It's annoying, and I'll probably have to address this at some point. But they're not going to get me just yet. Come at me, YouTube TV. I dare you. Pull my service. I'm challenging you. Oh. Oh, yeah, there he is. He's in at fullback. Get him the rock. Throw it to him. Are they going to throw it to him? I think they wanted to. Baker was looking that way for a sec. Oh. I genuinely think they were trying to throw it to him there. Let's watch this back. Yeah, they did. Green Bay did. Yeah. Swing and a miss, dude. What can I say? Offense was pretty bad throughout most of the game, right? Love didn't perform very well. I just think, like, it's just so crazy, man. Like, the Eagles won. A.J. Brown didn't, like, explode or anything, right? Even, like, in the grand scheme of things, Saquon didn't have, like, a 60-yard touchdown run or anything. But Philly found a way, man. That defense is legit. I slept on him. There's a touchdown. Bucky Irving on the pass. Tampa Bay touchdown. They take the lead back. Here we go, man. Good second half of football so far. Look at that. Bucky Irving. First career playoff touchdown for the Rook. Kind of a play fake a little bit. McMillan just takes them all out. Oh, yeah. Cohen cooked with that design right there. You have one wide receiver taking out three dudes. Bucky just leaks out. You can hear the Bucky chants right now in Raymond James. That's my dynasty player right there. Bucky Irving, the Rook. Yeah, look at that. You got to be careful, right? You don't want to get called for an illegal pick play, but got him right there. Man, Bucky the Buck. Here we go. All right. What sort of answer do you have for us, Jaden? Here we go. These two offenses starting to get in their bag. Trade some blows here, right? This is what we were promised. Maybe, just maybe, we will see the shootout after all. Here we go. Strap in, folks. Lovato's been to Tampa once. Great place. Florida is the closest state for Brazilians to visit. I suppose that checks out, right? Geographically. Let's go. That's awesome. Hope you enjoy. I suppose you said great place. Probably enjoyed your time there. That's nice. Ryan Assey asking Lovato where he visit. Anything for clicks saying nice season Washington, but it's over. It's not looking good. I mean, it's a 4-point game, right? who's to say their offense can't just answer with a scoring drive of their own? Lot of game left, lot of snaps left, right? I will say, Tampa seems to have figured some stuff out. They have really seemed to figure some stuff out. That drive to close out the first half, we'll see. Their offense is starting to cook a little bit more. This is the Bucs offense that we've seen throughout most of the season. Ryan Nasty asking if I've been to Tampa. I have. I actually caught a game in Tampa back in October. I went to the Falcons-Bucs creamsicle game late October. That's where I got this, was at the team store. One of my friends lives down in Tampa and went to go visit him with another one of my friends. It was awesome, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. It is a nice area. I like it. The weather's nice, right? We got to check out St. Pete a little bit too. That was pretty cool. We went to some street market there. They had a lot of different stuff set up. Went to a Lightning game, which was that was my first ever NHL game. Was a Tampa Bay Lightning game. But yeah, man, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. And you know what? Raymond James, pretty cool stadium. I got to see the pirate ship up close in person. I got to hear the cannons be fired. That was fun. Do I know of the Let's start over. Do I know of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge? You drive it every weekend. It's an amazing drive. Is that the bridge between Tampa and St. Pete? Is that? I don't know. I went over like some sort of bridge, and I've like seen a bridge, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it was. I have to cough. Hold on. Whew. But it is a nice area. Sebastian thought that Vermont is a very nice state. I've always wanted to be up in that area. I've never been up in the Northeast before. I've never been to like Vermont or New Hampshire or Maine. I really want to go to Maine. I've never been to like Massachusetts, like that whole area I haven't been to. I would like to check that out at some point though. A lot of nice forests. You get some nice coastal cliffs out near like Maine and the mountains of New Hampshire. Oh yeah. Let's go. We got Matt in here. Welcome to the stream, Matt. Saying the guy who owns the Bucs should buy the Rays and let them move next to Raymond James. Yeah, they're trying to like figure that out, right? I mean, I guess they're going to be playing at like the Yankees spring training stadium, right? George Steinbrenner Field, but that is a tough situation, man. That is tough. Oh, broken up. Zion McCollum again. Oh, are they going to get a penalty on him? Oh, man. Matt saying Vermont is the granola New Hampshire. It's all right. Oh, they got Ben and Jerry's, though. I don't know if that helps or hurts their case, but I like Ben and Jerry's. AJ saying the entire Northeast is beautiful. Dude, I got to make it out there. Genuine life goal of mine. Like, truly, something that I want to do in my life. And I'm, like, dead serious about this. So I want to visit every single state and every single continent before I die. I think I'm at like 22 states right now. And I count it as like, I have to have done something in the state. Like, oh, if I was at the airport, like, nah, that doesn't count. Oh, I like flew over it. Nah, that doesn't count. You know, like, so I'm not even halfway there. I still have a long ways to go though, ideally, right? But yeah, there's a few regions I haven't fully unlocked yet. Ironically enough, a lot of the South I haven't really been to. It was not until last year that I'd been to like Louisiana for the first time in my life, or Alabama for the first time in my life, or Mississippi. And I've been in Georgia for a few years now, but I've got a map somewhere. I keep track of all the states I've been to. So got to unlock some new regions at some point. But Ryan has to say, not between Tampa and St. Pete. It's St. Pete and Palmetto area. I might have seen it. If I did, I don't remember, but I'll have to look it up. I am a sucker for a good bridge. I love the bridge. It's the Talmadge Bridge, I think that's the name. It's in Savannah, Georgia. Goes over the Savannah River. Ooh, nice catch by Terry. But it starts in Georgia, and if you cross it, you end up in South Carolina. It goes over the Savannah River. That's a pretty cool bridge. I like that bridge. Ooh, we got an injury too. Ugh. Lovato went to Orlando and visited downtown Tampa and the Busch Gardens Standard Brazilian Ship. Oh, that sounds like fun, though. Let's go. Parachamp saying, hey, Doc, did you end up seeing the Flyers mascot selling lemonade and not having grapes for the Ducks fan? I did, yeah. Yeah, please. Oh, meme chat in the Discord. That's a genius idea. Either Wolf will it, I will take care of that if Wolf doesn't beat me to it. But yeah, we should get a meme chat in the Discord. I do like that idea too. Yeah. But yeah, I did see that. Got any grapes? Bum, bum, bum. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter the other day. All right, let's look this up while we got a commercial break. Sunshine. That is so hard to say. I struggle with sunshine. Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Something about the sunshine, baby. If you know the reference to that, that's crazy. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't remember if I saw this when I was in Tampa or not, to be honest. Oh, I don't think I've been over that. That looks so long. Wow. But look at that. Let me show you the Talmadge Bridge too. While we're talking bridges. Talmadge Memorial Bridge. This is my go-to bridge right here. Oh yeah. I love Savannah, Georgia so much. That's one of my favorite cities to visit. I got to go back there sometime. Man, it's actually been a minute since I've been to Savannah, but that is the Talmadge Memorial Bridge. A little bit of bridge talk. Just a little bit of everything, you know. You just get a little bit of everything. But 4.14 miles. That's crazy. Wow. That is a huge bridge. Not false advertising there. Sebastian saying, where I live, you can drive to Vermont. I was like, Virginia Tech? Vermont in an hour or two. Have a nice day trip in the state sand and then get back home before supper. Oh, that sounds nice. That's awesome. Let's go. Lovato says, crazy place I'd like to visit, the Quadrupoint border. Oh, the Four Corners, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. Yeah, the Four Corners. I want to go there too. That would be pretty cool. I have been to Colorado and Arizona, but I have not been to New Mexico or Utah, and I have not been to the Four Corners, but that would be pretty cool. Montreal has a whole bunch of bridges of vastly varying quality. My favorite is the Champlain Bridge. You know, we'll look up that one too real quick before we get back to the game. I spelt that wrong, but it's chill. Ooh, that is nice. I love that bridge designed with, like, I don't know what you call them, the strings, the chords of the bridge. Nice. Jamel Dean update. Sounds like he was banged up. Four Corners, yeah. Wait, did it not? Did it not switch? Whatever. Oh, I completely screwed that up. I had it opposite, the whole scoreboard thing, whatever. I saw the bridges. Suspension bridge. There we go. Thank you, Jacob. Oh, it's Terry. Terry. Good little wide receiver battle here between Evans and Terry McLaurin. Another penalty. What's this all about? Oh, they're going to get him for a man downfield. You get those sometimes when you run those RPOs, man, right? It's tough when you don't know if it's a run or pass until the last second. The linemen don't know either. That's tough. Talking about that Chiefs Super Bowl offensive line back when they played Tampa. Andrew Wiley was a part of it. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's way downfield. RPO moment right there, man. It happens. But Matt saying, shame that the weather in Buffalo isn't nicer during football season. It's awesome to spend time there. Lived there for 5 years, and the summers were always a blast. Oh, I love a summer in a climate like that. Yeah. A lake summer. Man, the summers like up in Minnesota are just gorgeous, man. Makes me think of going to the lake house. Oh, spending the weekends out there. Summers in Georgia, here's what I'll say. Summer nights in Georgia are awesome. After dinner time, it's super nice to be outside. It's beautiful out there. But man, I struggle with the heat and humidity a little bit. When it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 100 degrees with like a million bajillion % humidity. My northern blood still struggles to adjust to that a little bit. I'll be like, here we go. 3rd and 5. They're going to blitz Jaden. Broken up. Broken up. So what do? It's 4th and 5. It would be a long distance to go for it. It's not a gimme kick from here necessarily. You would cut the lead to 1. I don't know. The offense is out there. Here we go. Bunch of dads right now are saying, well, I sure hope they don't go for it. Here we go. They do snap it. Over the middle. Oh, he's got the vet Ertz. Oh, the chutzpah to go for it again on 4th and 5, and they got it. The 4th down nerd in me is enjoying this, I will say. Woo-hoo. They got it. Here we go, man. This is going to be a thrilling 4th quarter. Is anyone's game. You look at that win probability chart. 54% for the Bucs right now. Here we go, man. Jaden has looked pretty legit today. He's played a good game, man. The accuracy, the timing has been there. The scrambling has been there. It is great TV. Another penalty. False start. It is. One time that analytics has made the game better. Oh, yeah, right. Like, you can get into, like, spreadsheet brain where, like, you try and, like, optimize literally everything, you know. But, like, for this, I love this because it encourages chaos, right? You know what? You might not get it, but the chance that you do get it is enough that you should. You absolutely should. I love it. The witching hour is upon us. Oh, yeah. Where wins become losses and losses become wins. Lotto says, once experienced 115 degrees in South Brazil. It's insane. Oh, that sounds miserable. It does not get to 115 in Georgia, I'll tell you that. Man. Eckler? Nothing. Stuffed. Here we go. 4th quarter. Yo, we got Ron in here too. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Ron. Good to have you in here. Lots of yellow laundry. Yeah, there has been. There has been. That's been a theme of the playoffs so far, I feel like. I feel like there's a lot of penalties in the Packers-Eagles game. Just a lot of weird stuff. While it's the end of the quarter, look up the Skyway Bridge collapse. Oh, yeah, you were saying something about that. Where'd that go? The original Skyway Bridge collapsed southbound span was rammed by wind, blown by freighter Summit Venture on May 9th of 1980. Well, let's pull this up here. Skyway Bridge collapse. And I will do this properly this time. There we go. Now you can actually see my screen. And look at that. A nice little callback. Wikipedia, home of the Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie contract shenanigans. Here we go. Not to be confused with the sunshine. Man, that word is killing me today. Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine. All right. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Wait. Yeah. Originally referred to as the Baum-Graham Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Long beam bridges. Okay, where's the collapse? The 1980 collapse. Destroyed. Oh, yep. A freighter collided with the support column. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Well, actually, that's pretty rough. Emu. They had a replacement bridge. They had to demolish the former bridge. There were some issues and concerns. There you go. Bridge knowledge, baby. Bridge knowledge. There we go. All right, now I got it right. There we go. What? Ron saying it occasionally hits 115 in Texas and with super high humidity, absolutely miserable. Dude, I can't with the heat, man. I get so cranky when it's hot out. Like, I do not go outside if I don't need to. I would much rather be cold than hot. I keep it very cold in my place. I don't know. I just like the coolness. But Pear Champ with a good question. Do I think that Jaden Daniels has more of a Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray type career? Man, and this is a tough question, right? Because I do not want to disrespect Jaden, and I don't want to disrespect Kyler either, right? I still think Kyler is pretty good, all things considered. Here's what I'll say. Lamar is such an insanely high bar. It is such a high bar. Like, dude, Lamar really is one of the best that I've ever seen, right? And I know, like, some of the postseason successes eluded him. That's going to be a pass interference. Yeah, there you go. Dude, Jaden would have to be ridiculous to have a Lamar type of career. I might lean towards Kyler just because I think that's a little bit more realistic. I think I'm going to be lame and say somewhere in between the two. I'll say he's maybe a little bit better than Kyler. I don't know, like, because he and Kyler both had the same OC, right? And Daniels has been just as successful as Kyler ever was year one as a rookie. So I don't know. But yeah, we got Wolf in here too. Let's go. Was in the Discord server. Didn't realize I was live. Hey, no worries about that. Good to have you in here, though. We are finally having a banger of a game right here, man. We've been waiting. But here we go. We had a Tom Grossi raid, actually, during halftime, believe it or not. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty fun. That's why the Discord is pinned up there right now. I think we might have had one or two join, but yeah, that was crazy. Daniels flushed out. 2nd and goal. Here we go. Vado saying it is colder. We had snow on winter a couple years ago, but the temperature varies wildly, and on summers it goes to 100 plus. Man. Oh. Jack with the Shannon Sharp call. Man. Oh, man. Shannon Sharp. Little did we know what was going on with that network, dude. I mean, that whole thing is still crazy. Could say Emmanuel Acho now. Yeepers. Oh, crunched. He's short. 3rd and goal. Wolf saying he's conflicted because he loves Baker, but also loves Daniels. That's fair, right? As a Browns fan, I feel like you got to have a soft spot for Baker. But Daniels is so much fun to watch. Hey, you can just kick up your feet, though, be a neutral football enjoyer, and just, dude, you can't lose, right? Like, either way, one of your quarterbacks is going to be moving on. Here we go. I think they're going to put the ball in Jaden's hands now, right? I mean, you have to. That was a big loss right there. One of them will move on, exactly. No, nothing about Shannon Sharp today. They're broken up. It's Debo, bro. It's Deion Jones. Here's what I'll say, Ron. And if you really want to, go ahead. But I would suggest not looking up Shannon Sharp Instagram Live. This happened like a few months ago, but something unfortunate and excuse me. Something unfortunate and slightly humorous happened accidentally on Shannon Sharp's Instagram Live. It's nothing nefarious. It's just like, oh, he didn't know he was live when something was happening. Incomplete. Goal line stand for the Bucks. Oh my goodness. Oh man. They bent but didn't break. Oh, Vita Vea almost got his paw on that. Yeah, it's just a nice little. They did fold right there. Shannon Sharp was with Joy Taylor during that Instagram. I mean, who knows at this point? It could have been. Oh, man. Tiebreaker could be who do you hate more between Jimmy Haslam and Dan Snyder? Dan Snyder's gone now, though. Dan Snyder's gone now. Anything for Clicks wanted them to take the 3 there? That would have been a tough spot, though, right? I mean, you're down 4. I don't fault them for trying to get it right. I mean, but the Bucks are pinned back deep in their own territory now, right? At the end of the day, whether they kick the field goal or not, the Bucks would need another stop and then need to get the ball back. Turnover on downs is embarrassing. Yeah. But at least, like, in the grand scheme of things, being down 4 being versus down 1, like, obviously, if you're down 1, okay, any sort of score, you take the lead, right? But I think at this juncture in the game, fourth quarter, right, there's only going to be so many possessions left. You're that close to the end zone, man. I mean, you score there, you take the lead, right? Versus you're down 1 and you need a stop to even have another chance. Right here, you're down 4, but you need a stop to have another chance. You hold them to a field goal, still a 1-score game, but take the 3 even if the Bucs score a TD. It's an 8-point game. Fair enough. You could go either way there, right? It was, 3 yards out? But I will say, to play devil's advocate, I mean, that is what Washington has been doing. They're going to live by the sword. They're going to die by the sword. Let's see. What do the nerds think? Oh, football wisdom machine. Tell me my opinion. If it'll load. But Snyder's an egomaniac, so you think it's hurting them to see Washington get good so quick? Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Good. Good. Let him suffer. Let him suffer. Terry is a Buckeye. There you go. Ohio represent. Yeah, sorry about that, Ryan Astley. Dude, I've been off my game switching between this and this. It's taken a hot minute to load here. I think they just posted the recommendation. But cue up My Hero by Foo Fighter. Christopher Walken accent. That's a reference that's going over my head. Let's see if it actually loads. Oh, I'm thinking PI. 1.9% win probability in favor of going for it. So it's more or less a toss-up. It's a pretty close call either way. And these models do tend to favor going for it. Bucky. Good point about Snyder. He's probably seething. Yeah. It's nice to be able to morally get behind Washington for once. It's not really something I can say in my lifetime up until these past few years. That was just a deeply unserious ownership stint. See if they get the snap off here. Oh, Bucky crunched. Wolf saying, if I was the new owner of the Pigs, I'd pay the FBI for an investigation against Snyder. Oh, yeah, right? You want to, distance him as far as possible from the organization, right? I am not Dan Snyder. If I was the new owner, right, that would be, what I'd wear to my first press conference. It's just, a giant neon sign that's I am not Dan Snyder. I was like, yeah. Was he with them during the Alex Smith season? He was. It's good. That's true. You could get behind him then if you just forget who the owner was. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, oh, what an effort by Mike. Oh, what a stretch. That is an unbelievable play right there. That was awesome. Man, you got the star of the team, the dude that's already won a ring, right? Wrong side of 30. Here he is still stretching out like he's a dude fighting for a roster spot. That's sick. Welcome to the playoffs, man. This truly feels like a playoff game right here. That was sick. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. It's Commanders football. Oh my goodness. It's Bobby Wagner. What? It's Bobby Wagner. Dude, he has had himself a game today. He has been all over the place. There he is. The ball just gets kicked to him. Oh my goodness. There you go, Jack. Bobby Wagner right on cue. Just after he gave him the shout out. Oh my goodness. Jack fired up now. First ballot Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner gets the ball. Washington has new life. Oh, Baker's livid with himself. Oh, man. That's Brutal, dude. Oh. Oh. Ah. 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 All right, here we go. Take two. Commanders in the red zone. Shot of redemption. They call him timeout? Wow. Oh, they're going to call a timeout. They're going to call a timeout. Whew. It was just a bad exchange trying to get a nice little sweep end around to McMillan. Man. Oh. Just didn't even like fully extend it. Didn't get it in that bread basket, you know? Why is it called the bread basket? I wonder why they call this the bread basket. Who knows? So you keep the dough. Oh, man. All right. Let's try this again after the timeout. 1st and 10. Oh, they tried a little sweep end around fake. Well, they faked this one. They kept the ball, but nothing there. Here we go. Game of cat and mouse. Baby Blanket can cover Mike Evans better than Marshawn has. Yeah, he's been getting kind of cooked today. We got the Levante David versus Bobby Wagner showdown again. Oh, yeah. Nice little debate right there. I personally would still probably lean Bobby. I honestly think they should both get in the Hall of Fame, though. I think if I had to rank one over the other all time, I would say Bobby. I think his peak was just a little bit higher. But this is no disrespect to Levante either. Michael pointing out the markets. I did not know that actually. Tampa's a bigger market than Seattle. Michael would know that. That is a media professional right there. I bet you Michael knows, like, I don't remember the name of it, but there's like the market list, right? Like the biggest markets. There are arms that are shaped like a basket to hold the ball. There you go. Wolf dropping knowledge too. 3rd and 6. They're going to go for it if they don't get it. Yep. Yeah. Took the check down. Tampa's saying they got the ball. Tampa's saying they got the ball. Hang on a second. There's no signal yet. Everyone on Tampa is pointing this way. They're thinking they got the ball here. Wiley wants a flag. What do we have here? Oh, forward progress. That's going to be incredibly hard to overturn. Oh, ho, ho, if they didn't blow that whistle. Oh, that's close. Oh, I don't know, Jim. Oh. I suppose you can't really, yeah, okay, that's fair. You can't really review that or overturn that. Here we go. They're going again. Here we go. Fire up the think pieces. They're going for it. Dan Quinn watched my video. Daniels end zone caught. It's McLaurin. Touchdown on 4th down. The Commanders get the lead back. This game has been electric. This game has been electric. Oh, let's go. Oh. Welcome to the playoffs, everyone. Here we go. We had a playoff preseason the first few games. Welcome to postseason football, man. Oh. Michael saying, well, actually, no. You know what? I got to get into this, right? I don't have Dan Campbell's voice down yet. I got to get a better Dan Campbell impression so I can do this with the voice. Here's what I would say. That's terrible. That sounds nothing like him. Here's what I would say. Because I tell my family this, just wear a diaper before some of these games. I'll give them alert, say put them on and be ready to roll. MCDQ. Oh, that's a nice little touch in there at the end. All right. Bakey, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Terrible defense. Baker throwing the game. I mean, that was a tough fumble, right? But he's had a good game. He's had a good game. Here we go. Each team probably has a few possessions left, right? Man, this might actually be one of those games where you just whoever has the ball at the end wins. Jesse Ventura on Whippets. That's Dan Campbell. I don't really know what he sounds like either, to be honest, which is funny because I watched the John Boy's series on the Reform Party, although I guess they didn't really have any sound bites from him, but he was indeed the governor of Minnesota. Ryan Nasty's mind is back in Alaska. We got to go to Alaska and find that thing. Parent Champ says, will Baker be a one and done in the playoffs for the first time in his career? Yeah, they did mention that during the pregame show, right? Baker's never lost in the wild card round before. He's goated, dude. He's the Brady of wild card round. Because I suppose 2020 with the Browns, they wall up the Steelers. Then last year, they beat the Eagles. Yeah. 12 out of 10 Minnesota nice is Ventura. Washington City, Dan Quint. Oh, that's awesome. Man. Evans is probably going to go over 100 yards. McLaurin might hit over 100 yards. Oh. Baker's the one with the nice completion percentage now. He's 13 for 16. Let's see here. I mean, that one was probably recommended if the other one was. Yeah, we'll just refresh, but we'll keep it open. Oh, another Washington-Tampa Bay matchup. They're showing them through the years. There's the one that we were talking about. 2020, that's right. Yeah, duh. That was the Heineke game. Yo, that's right. Second John Boys mentioned this stream. Spread the propaganda, doc. Pretty good. John Boys is pretty good. Dude, yeah. I like watched a bunch of his older videos like back in the summer. Um I watched The Dumbest Boy in the World for the first time. That one had me crying laughing. That was so funny. If you guys haven't watched that before, man, that is legitimately one of the funniest videos I've seen this year. I won't even say what it's about, but if I believe it's called The Dumbest Boy in the World. Pretty good by John Boys. Legitimately one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen, man. Oh, that had me crying. Ah. All right. What do you got for us, Tampa? Will you answer? Oh, McMillan to start. Here we go. McMillionaire. Dude, Jalen McMillan. Just every time I turn on the Bucks, man, he impresses me so much. He really will be the Godwin replacement. I mean, like, they'll still have Godwin for a little bit. He's still been pretty good when he's been playing. He was having a fantastic season before he went down. He was in line to, like, maybe have the best season of his career production-wise. But, man, they've got someone in McMillan. They've got something there. He just has it. I love the way he moves. There's Bucky. Bucky stiff arm. Bucky breakaway. This kid. Oh. Man. You know, I know I'd be a little annoying about this sometimes too, but it's just, to me, it's just so crazy. Just like throughout this off season, even a little bit during the season, there was this very strong narrative building that the NFL just had a lower quality of play and teams weren't as good and players weren't as good. I don't know how you can watch a game like this and think that, man. There's so much good young talent in the league right now. This sport is in such good hands with the players that we have right now. I think we're in for an awesome era of football. We're in the middle of an awesome era of football. Sebastian wants to go back. Wish we could have the nuclear war pretty good back. We just have the intro. Otherwise, it's lost media. I'm a sucker for some lost media. Not familiar with the nuclear war pretty good. Interesting. Right on cue. Jack says, "Where is Goat Kid when you need him?" And Goat Kid pops in the stream. Let's go. Good evening, Doc. I love Josh Allen, as you should. You know, we're going to have quite the epic showdown next week. I can't wait for that, dude. But congrats to your Bills for the big win today. Man, that offensive line looking nasty. Josh doing Josh things. Oh, Cade Otton. Here we go, man. Back and forth now. These teams racing up and down the field. Matt says, no way the NFL has kept it up and MLB and NBA are in shambles. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you look at, like, the ratings and, like, the ratings aren't everything, right? But the NFL is just a machine. It is. It dominates us culturally, right? I was talking about this on stream on Thursday. I think it's the best setup league in sports with the parity and how much each game matters, right? And, like, feasibly, you can believe that you have a shot, you know. Bucky outside. Man, this Tampa offense has been unbelievable in the second half. Wolf says, I remember getting the draft classes in Madden 24 and drafting Bucky and Brian Thomas Jr. Both were balling. Oh, dude, could you imagine if that happened in real life? That would have been insanity. Two of the best rookies of this class. Madden 24 legend right there. People fighting over Josh as their boyfriend. Hey, why can't he be both? Right? You guys can share. Nothing wrong with that. Oh. Well, I'll be if it ain't Bobby Wagner in the backfield again. Oh, and now he's down. Football is a sport built for TV. Sebastian, I wonder if you're a Foolish Baseball fan. But Foolish Baseball dropped an awesome video about how widescreen killed baseball. I don't know if you've seen that video. But that just blew my mind. It's like, dude, how have I not even thought of that before? That is genius. But yeah, that your comment reminded me of that. Oh, snap. Bro, Bucky tried to pitch it backwards. That looked a little scary for a sec. He was like holding the ball out like this. That was a little sketchy. Man. That was pretty sketchy. Here we go. We got a kick now. Man. Just a few just silly little mistakes by the Bucs have killed what's otherwise been a dominant offensive performance here in the second half. Man. Here we go. Kick is up and good. Tie game. Tie game. Matt saying widescreen didn't help baseball. What really killed it is the lack of conditioning for starting pitchers. Yeah, I miss the days. Not to sound like a boomer. I miss the days of a starting pitcher going out there and throwing 150 pitches and staying in. Now they just yank them out after the fourth inning. But I get why, though. They want to preserve their arms and stuff, you know. And some of it might be conditioning, but also just, like, the stuff that these guys throw now, right? Like, Tyler Glasnow, for example, right? Like, just nasty, nasty stuff. But, man, like, the human arm just has not quite evolved to the point where it can, like, handle throwing stuff like that at that intensity, at that velocity for that extended period of a time, you know? You see a bunch of guys blowing out their elbows now, like pitchers have almost gotten too good for the sake of their own arms, you know. It's interesting, but yeah. Ease of access, that's been a thing that's plagued the NBA, how it promotes small market teams. Oh, yeah. And I think they seem to have taken it to heart a little bit, right? To their credit, they seem to really promote that OKC Cavs game from last week, right? Like they seem to actually be hyping it up a little bit, but yeah, like, you know, I think shows like First Take really did a lot of damage for the NBA too, right? It became a lot about agenda pushing and like less about the actual game itself. Bill Simmons, who like I don't really listen to the Bill Simmons podcast, but I somehow ended up on Bill Simmons' Twitter, and I somehow ended up on the Bill Simmons podcast subreddit. But like he made a good point, like ESPN seems to think what we want is like the shot of Stephen A. Smith walking through the tunnel before the Knicks game. But that's not what most people want, right? Or like Kendrick Perkins, hot take of the day, there's nothing wrong with a hot take here and there. They're fun, right? And if you truly, genuinely believe them, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, NBA certainly has done no favors like promoting their own product, right? NFL does a great job of promoting like any team. If you're good, right? Look at how much they market the Chiefs, right? You know, Chiefs are not like New York or LA or anything, but got some love for Paul Skeens and Jalen Brunson. Oh yeah, look at that. Matt saying Greg Maddox wasn't gassing anyone past age 30, and he managed to dominate guys like Barry Bonds and McGuire. Oh yeah, patience and control. If Glasnow could throw 230 innings at 85% effort instead of 160 at 100%, I would take it. That is an interesting point. I never thought about it like that. Screaming A. Smith is a national treasure, though. I love Stephen A. He's great at what he does, and ESPN obviously struck gold with him in First Take. I do think, me personally, they overdid it. They have made First Take like the biggest thing on the network, right? Again, easy for me to say, well, when I was a child, that was actually the best era, right? But to me, there was a time, magically, of course, this also happened to line up with my childhood, but like Sports Center was still ESPN's like clear flagship program. There was still a lot of like, just a lot more effort put into Sports Center. Sports Center was like the face of the network. And First Take was like the fun change-up, right? First Take is perfect as the fun change-up. I think they've tried to make it. It's like when the Cowboys made Tony Pollard their feature back last year, right? They got rid of Zeke. Yo, look at Tony Pollard's yards per carry. What if we gave Tony Pollard 300 carries? They did. All of a sudden, his yards per carry ain't looking so hot anymore, right? There's a reason they needed both of those guys to balance them out. But debates get ratings? Oh, they do, right? And, like, I will say, at least for me, like, I will never, like, turn on First Take, right? I'll see clips hit my timeline every once in a while, but Matt wants to bring back Around the Horn. Pardon my interruption. Oh, dude, those are like my go-to dentist shows. I feel like those shows were always on when I was at the dentist. Oh, yeah. Around the Horn. Didn't they say they were going to cancel it, though? Did they say they were going to cancel Around the Horn? I'm trying to remember. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to actually remember to switch. Around the Horn canceled. It'll conclude in the summer of 2025. That's so sad, man. Oh. Low key, I always wanted to maybe go on that show. That would have been fun. Of course, I would have had to be at ESPN. They wouldn't be like, guest starring Dr. Pigskin. But no, I don't watch a lot of ESPN Live these days. I will say I love NFL Live. I think that's just like a genuinely well-made show. The people on the panel seem to really care. They do a good job of like diving into like the really niche, nerdy stuff too. Try and turn up my audio here a little bit. Sorry if you can't hear me very well. I wonder. I don't think that's what it is. All right. But yes, I can turn my audio up. Sorry if it's been hard to hear me a little bit, if I've been a little bit quieter. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? But yeah, Mina's on there. She's really good on there. I mean, you've got like Marcus Spears on there, right? Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky. The panel just seems to have really good chemistry, right? You might have seen that video last week where Mina like got up in front of the camera and everyone's laughing about it, Oh, they do a good job. They'll bring in Adam Schefter a lot of the time too. So that's like the only ESPN show that I still watch sometimes. And even then, I'm not watching it like every day. But yeah. Loving the media talk. Oh, yeah. Matt says, if I could go back in time, I would have taken the MLB Network internship in 2015. Oh, well, having a sports journalism degree is hell. It is hard, man. I didn't know that. You had a sports journalism degree. So do I, kind of. I have a journalism degree and a sports media certificate, but dang, man. Yeah, it is hard to find a job in sports media. Like, it just straight up is, It's just, You know, sometimes things just open up perfectly for a split second and then there's nothing, you know? Um I've been in job searches before. It is not fun, you know. And I have a sports media degree. My day job is not in sports right now, right? I'm writing for a newspaper. I'm covering hard news. So, but I say that, you know, I'm fortunate to be able to do what I love and do this too. But yeah. Lovato with a good question. Best movie related to American football. Ooh. Okay, this is definitely not the best, and I'll try and come up with a better answer. This is certainly not the best, and it's kind of bad, but that's why I kind of like it. I'm going to say it. I like draft day. I watch it every spring before the draft. I love draft day. It's so stupid. It's so silly. It's so unrealistic, but it's kind of fun. It's cheesy and hokey, but it's a love letter to football. And it's a fun little time capsule to an NFL that no longer exists. I mean, you think about it. Without like spoiling anything, right? The big debate is who are we going to take at the top of the draft? A running back or a linebacker, you know? People pay to get wet. Waterboy, radio, longest yard, remember the Titans? All really good shouts right there. Oh yeah. Robinson stuffed again. There's Winfield leading the charge. A whole host of Bucks pushing him back. Anything for clicks is feeling the Daniels pick right now. See if that comes true. Sebastian saying, I once heard someone say Mina Kimes is basically a Ringer employee who got lost and ended up at ESPN, and I can't say that they're wrong. Oh, yeah, she definitely has, like, millennial Ringer energy, you know. And I say that complimentary, right? Like, I enjoy a lot of the Ringer stuff. And I remember Bill Simmons saying that Mina Kimes was, like, his big free agent wish that he wanted to bring in. But, yeah, that does check out, yeah. They're going to rush 3. Daniels over the middle. It's caught. There's Brown again. Dude, he's been feasting tonight. He's been feasting. It is the Browns, yeah. But hey, the Browns are the good guys in that movie. Oh, Jerry Maguire, that's a good one. I watched that on a flight once. Jerry Maguire's a good one. Man. Look at Daniels throwing over the middle. That was another thing. I was like, can he throw over the middle? He didn't do it in college. Here he is right now in an NFL playoff game, throwing over the middle of the field. Man, we're getting close to the 2-minute warning here. I'm going to say it. I feel overtime for this game. We're going to get a little bit more football. We're going to get some free football. Daniels is ice cold, dude. He is just proving me so fundamentally wrong. There is an egg on my face. I have been dunked on. I apologize. I was not familiar with your game, etc., etc., etc. Nah, he's a joy to watch. He's such a fun player. Here we go. 2-minute warning. Sometimes you just got to clap it up for good football. Oh, this game has been everything that I've wanted and more. 20-20, 2 minutes left. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. It's been a good night, man. It's been a really good night. I've had a lot of fun doing this tonight. Sebastian saying, I don't know why this is a debate. It's obviously holiday touchdown, a Chiefs love story, dude. Maybe next Christmas I'll watch that. Oh, man. The game plan. Dude, that's a great poll right there. The game plan with The Rock. He's just the most jacked quarterback ever. Yeah. The Secret Ballerina Daughter. That was a fun movie. A little Disney movie right there. Yeah. Man. 32 trying to mimic Rick Woolen when he does the T-Care. T-Care. Oh. 32. Is that the guy that Ryan Asty was talking about? Hayes. Yeah. Oh, what was his first name? Yeah, he's kind of getting picked on a little bit. Sebastian says, name another football money movie featuring a wide receiver who's a 9-time MVP and has the record for longest yards received. You can't. That's right. I saw that clip. It's so funny. There has never been an NFL receiver ever that has won MVP. but this dude is 1-9. Anything for clicks asking who do I got? KC versus Texans and Baltimore versus the Bills. I'm going to go Chiefs and Ravens. You know, I think the Texans can make it interesting if they can dominate the Chiefs tackles. I mean, we said this last time they played. The Chiefs still found a way to win. Jack is saying watch the Texans beat the Chiefs. It is any given Sunday, right? I think the Chiefs are kind of playing their best football right now. They've got a lot of rest. Maybe there's some rust, but I don't know. We're talking about the two-time defending champs who won 15 games and are playing at home coming off a bye. And Houston, they were very impressive against the Chargers yesterday. They're going to have to do that again and then some. And honestly, they're going to have to be better on offense. They are going to have to play just as good, if not better, next week if they want to beat the Chiefs. I think they can make it close. I really do. You look at, the matchup in the trenches. Yeah, maybe they can. Oh, Any Given Sunday movie. That is a movie, isn't it? But, and I like the Ravens over the Bills. Again, that one, sure, it could go either way. I just straight up think Baltimore's the better team. Their defense is playing better now than it was when they played the Bills earlier on in the year. Yes, it's hard to beat the same team twice, but the defense is legit. Quarterback is probably about even, right? You can't really say one way or the other. I just struggle to find an area that the Bills are better at, except for maybe offensive line, which is a good one, but Daniels. Oh, he snuck it to Eckler. Past Diaby. Eckler into field goal range. And now you start to play the timeouts game a little bit. How much more clock do you let bleed now if you're Tampa Bay, right? You have 3 timeouts. Man, I mean, it really, if you hold them to, probably less than 3 yards on this first down, then you got to call that timeout, right? You could even have flirted with calling that timeout right then, just to keep as much time as possible on the clock. But, yeah. Yo, what's up, Caden? Good to have you in here. Fell asleep and woke up. I see 170 likes. Did I miss a raid? Yes, you did. We got raided again. The Grossi hat trick. We had a lot of people file in. I have the Discord link pinned up there for that reason. I think we had a few people join. But, yes, we had another Grossi raid. It was crazy. Yeah, that was pretty sick. While I was doing the Immaculate Grid, too. And I was actually, I was getting carried by chat a little bit. We were doing pretty well, but here we go. Oh, that's a killer run by Eckler. Man, again, sometimes I like to big brain this. That's almost, they're not calling the timeout. Oh, what? Wait. So what I was about to say is yeah, it's tough, right? It's almost tough that they didn't get the first down because now they can set up a fresh set of downs if they convert this 2 yards, I guess you do have to save your timeout, don't you? I guess. Oh, they stuffed him. All right, now you have to call it. I mean, now it just comes down to this, right? It comes down to a 3rd and 1 right here. Can Vita Vea do something and save the Buccaneers pretty much? That's what it's going to come down to. Here you go, right? Playoff football, battle in the trenches. It comes down to this. 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Yeah, I guess they're putting all their eggs in one basket right here, right? Because if Washington had gotten the first down on 2nd and 2, then they get essentially an extra play, right? Then you need that extra timeout. Do the Commanders go for it if they're stuffed? They might. No, they really might. Yeah, they might do the Dan Campbell method. If they didn't get it, right, they would go for it. Because then if they got it, that would be the last play of the game. Their go-ahead field goal attempt, right? Do you want to give the ball back to this Tampa offense who they've had some bad mistakes? And yeah, that Baker fumble might be the biggest difference in this game. That might be the play that we go back to and dang, that just should not have happened, right? But all in all, This Buccaneers offense has been really moving the ball. Do you want to give it back to them? It might be worth the risk of going for it. Oh my goodness. We'll see. Here's what I'll say. Again, neutral football enjoyer. Neutral football enjoyer moment right here. Yeah, I want the Bucs to stuff them right here and force a fourth down. I want to see what the Commanders would do on fourth down here. I want to see it come down to a fourth down. It's way more climactic than, oh, they pick up the 3rd and 2 and they're going to get the field goal. Like, that's still good. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sebastian, the video reference. That's awesome. That's awesome. But, oh, man. Feeling a QB run by Jaden Daniels here. Yeah, I'm probably with you, Wolf, right? He's the guy. Put it in his hands. Maybe you can roll him out, right? Give him the option to do like, all right, roll out. If it's there, throw it. If not, you can just take off and run, right? Oh, here we go. My phone is blowing up right now. Man, I don't know how far ahead someone who's watching the game in person is from my YouTube TV right now, so I don't want to like check. I'm going to turn my phone over. Oh, man. Oh, they moved it to 3rd and 1. All right, and I can't look at my monitor either. That's the other thing. I cannot look at my monitor. No, this does nothing. I do look a little silly. But I can't see out of my peripheral of my right eye. They're going to do a QB sneak? I look very silly right now. Wait. That is not a quarterback. Are they trying to draw him off sides? Or is that Mariota? Wow. They just tried to get up the dog. Just snap the ball. Come on. Boo. Boo. Respectfully, I don't know. I respect teams a little bit less when they do that. Dog, just snap it. Just snap it. It's not even 4th down. All right. Here we go. Now we're going to see it. Commanders don't have Ryan Grubb, so they should be capable of getting a yard. The OC did it again. All right. Here we go. There's Vita Vea, right? I mean, if this is a spot where you need Vita Vea, it's right here, right? Here we go. 3rd and 1, maybe 3rd and game. Pistol formation. They fake it. Daniels gets out of there. He got it. He got it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That was unbelievable. He escaped out of that and just dove for the first down. Oh, my gosh. I thought they had him. Wolf did call it. He nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. Daniels QB run. The stiff arm on Cansey. And then from there, he's getting the edge. Man. Oh, and the injury forces Tampa to take their final timeout, too. That's just crushing. Man, I'm sorry, Ryan Nasty. That's so tough. I'm so sorry, man. Man. Well, it's going to come down to if you block the kick or not, I guess. I mean, I don't know. If you want a dose of copium, right? Maybe there's trouble with the snap. I mean, that's really, But, yeah. I mean, what? They're just going to try and line it up so that they can just get the alignment that their kicker wants? Yeah, look at that. Oh, Daniel's getting popped right there. Yeah, they can't even ice him. Washington will take it down to probably like 3 seconds, call timeout. Man, but yeah, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks, right? I mean, losing a game like this sucks. So. Yeah, the Raiders legend, Jaden Daniels. Coach B is pretty fired up right now, I bet. Coach B. Kicker's wearing 47. Yeah. Oh, I've seen kickers with these chunky numbers. Eject him. Make Jaden Daniels kick it. Well, here we go. 3 seconds left. Wow. Dox him. Yeah. All right. Here we go. For the win, can Zane Gonzalez do it? Washington looking for their first playoff win since 2006. It's up. Oh, it's a doink, and it's in. He doinked it in. He doinked it in. Oh, my gosh. He doinked it in. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. What a game. Everyone tried to copy the Chiefs. Man. What else is there to say? I thought he missed it. I thought that he was going to miss it. Man. The doink and in. Off the woodwork. Doink to the divisional. I love it. That's a great way to put it. We got Oscar in here too. Let's go. Yeah, that was crazy. Hey, you know what, Oscar? You cooked with your Jaden Daniels take. You owned me, dude. Dude, what a game from Jaden today. There we go. Welcome to the playoffs, man. This was a proper playoff game right here. This is a good way to end the night. That was a good game. I'm sorry again, Ryan Nasty. That was tough. What a game. What a game. All right. Doink to the divisional. That's what we're going to end it on. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate it, as always. Shout out the Grossi Posse. That was insane. If any of you guys have stuck around from that, I appreciate you guys. That was pretty cool. That made my day. So I don't know what else to say, man. It's time to sign off and go to bed. I'm going to bed a little past 11. Decent bedtime for me today. I appreciated the early start. Do I even need to say it? We know what's going down tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night. Let's go. I'll see you tomorrow night. Let's go. Skull.